I'll be there in a second. I don't know.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, all.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, hello. Where the hell am I?
John,
All
long
right.
time no see. Oh, you must be Nico.
That's it. That's it. That's your 16-year-old son there.
No,
Hello.
it's my son.
Anja's 16-year-old son.
Yeah. I didn't see you on the meeting on Friday, Nico.
There was a meeting on Friday. Oh,
The production
Oh,
lab meeting. sorry.
yeah, I wasn't feeling so well, so I wasn't able to join.
Oh, okay. Hope it wasn't COVID related.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I don't think it was because it was like some nausea that I've already been having like a couple days prior when I had like gotten a COVID test negative. So I'm not worried that it was COVID related.
Okay.
Don't do that. I did it. It's not fun.
Okay, so we're Joel just he logged on with the wrong numbers from last week. Remember, we changed them at the last minute, and we're waiting for Cam. So,
But if he opens the email with everybody's phone numbers, it's in that.
well,
That's
yeah,
where
I know.
got it.
Yeah, well, good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, there he
Hello.
is.
There we go.
All right.
Hey,
Who are we missing? We're missing Joe.
Now we're missing. Yeah,
Rob.
we're missing Rob, and we're missing Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Where is
yeah,
Cam?
yeah. I don't know. Well, she'll log on in a second, I'm sure.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, this is a good time for any quick questions.
Yeah, no, just a simple, Steve is, well, according to this, I don't know if it matters, but according to the script, he's 14. Is he going to be 14 or 16?
We're gonna say 16 probably.
Okay.
Because 14
So
is
he
a little.
doesn't have to shave.
Well, no, he's gonna need to shave that mustache there. Actually, I think I think he would work at 14. I really do. Yeah,
I think so too.
I do too. Especially with the mustache. It was just the mustache was throwing me off. Hey, Rob,
Yeah, I
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
look at you. Good.
yeah, with just without the mustache, she's got baby face.
He does have a baby. That's why he wears the mustache.
yeah.
I did the same thing, and for many.
Hey, all together now. Happy birthday.
Hey, this is Joel's birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Yay!
You're good at singing happy birthday.
No,
Yeah,
that's okay.
No. You don't want to hear happy birthday on Zoom, Joel.
he
It's
did
like
it for you.
not. Yeah, I know, and that made a strong enough statement. It's hard to get. We don't know how to sing happy birthday on Zoom without everybody on time delay. It's very bizarre. It's very
Okay.
bizarre.
It's okay.
All right. It looks like we're playing the Hollywood Squares, and John, you're the center square.
Colin.
Oh, on my screen, you're the center square.
Paul.
No,
Lindsay.
Angie's the center square.
Oh wow. Uh-oh.
Really? You think she has a big enough dent in the bottle?
Oh, my
All right.
All right.
Would you pour me a glass, please?
John Christie, I found it, but it's too big, so I'm not going to use it.
That looks like the bottle the taxi cab users use. And
Okay, I want to get started while we're waiting for Cam. I'm sure she'll pop on any moment. She might also still be trying to use those numbers from last week. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, one of the things I want to talk about is I want to talk a little bit about cancer before we start here. All right. Okay. I think in the email I asked all of those of you who were so afflicted to specifically, if you could, tell me where the affliction is that might help. Mel, I did this because, last week we talked about Agnes having headaches, right? That's something that's, and I said headaches were fear, right? According to Louise Hay, right? But then after I was done, I looked them up, right? And there's more detail to that, and it's absolutely apropos. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to go over some other things.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're going to love this. Well, she's always right, unfortunately. Headaches are invalidating the self-criticism and fear.
Hey, Cam.
Hi.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, Cam.
So
Cam.
I think that's even more specific for Agnes, right?
Yes, very much.
Right.
Very much.
I love the phrase invalidating the self.
Yeah.
I mean that she's completely lost herself in her mother. That she almost doesn't even sort of exist. It's sort of a pandemic existence.
Mhm.
Strangely enough, you know what I mean? It's sort of a a cloistered position. Anyway, and I just got to tell you something today. Last week, I didn't realize that Louise Hay had passed away.
Yeah,
She-
2017, I think.
yeah, she was 90.
Wow. Good.
And you know how I found that out was I wanted to look up and see what Louise had to say about COVID, right? I wanted to see what, I thought she was living in the COVID era. So since we can't do that and she's dead, COVID is a form of influenza, right? COVID is an influenza. And this, just to show you how right she is influenza is a response to mass negativity and beliefs. So that sort of nails the pandemic on the fucking head, right? I mean, so that it's almost like we gave ourselves this fucking disease. Anyway,
And
I just thought that was incredible.
Yep.
Anyway, so I want to get more specifically to those lucky folks who have cancer. John, did you locate yours from any clues in the book? Where do you think the location of cancer is?
I'm thinking prostate.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay. So you all know this, and for those of you who don't know what I'm doing here, this is I know Joel doesn't know what I'm doing. I think everybody else probably does. Maybe Nico doesn't. This is what I think is probably the best research book for an actor who has physical problems. It's You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And in it, she lists the emotional causes for every disease. So, I mean, if you look at the word dis-ease, it's D-I-S, ease, no ease, right? That just by definition, it's no ease. Well, she sort of has gone through any malady you can possibly think of and come up with an emotional source for that. And it's like I just said, I just read you what the influenza pandemic was. I mean, and how correct that is. Anytime someone is sick, I always go to this book and try to figure out the emotional cause of where they're going from.
So what's our emotional cause?
Well, it's different for everybody based on the location of their cancer, but cancer is this, everybody. It's a deep hurt. It's a long-standing resentment, right? And that sort of makes sense because a hurt doesn't go away. You absorb it, and if it stays in there long enough, it starts to eat away at you. I mean, that just sort of seems to make a lot of sense to me.
Right.
It's also a deep secret or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds. That's what cancer is. It's not letting go of yeah. So, and this is important for all of those of you who have cancer because it will help set where you are emotionally that you have no control over. In other words, where your emotions have brought you in this story. And then as we get more specific on the location of the cancer, we can find out some more about it. But the one thing you want to keep in mind of the whole thing is something that's been eating away at you for a long time, something that has just, and I know myself, I had prostate cancer and it happened to me after I left Miami. Joel will tell you this, I don't think I've ever been as angry as I was in my life when I left Miami because of the way the University of Miami faculty treated me. And it just ripped. I was going, a rage was going on inside of me. And I know that's where my cancer came from. Thank God I had a great surgeon and he cut it all out. And so hopefully it won't come back. Even Louise Hay says, even if they say it's not going to come back, unless you change your thought patterns, which is what leads you to the emotional problems that you have, unless you change those thought patterns, it's going to recur. It's going to come back because it's the thought process that brings you to the cancer or to that specific location. So John, I'm going to look up prostate for you.
Okay.
And know that you're not the only one on screen who's had that problem. Yeah,
The other ones are too young.
Yeah, this is probably where mine came from. Prostate problems prostate is giving up. A prostate is somebody who's given something up. He's given up his fight, whatever it is. It's a belief in aging as well, that we all sort of are going to get old and we're going to die, and we believe in that.
Well, that's him. That's Brian.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And here are a couple other things: is that it's mental fears weaken masculinity. So I don't think that's true in every case, but I do think it's true in your case, John. Right? I think that has a lot to do with all the huge changes in your life, right?
Yeah.
So that's yeah. Go ahead.
And I just have a sense that I'm just thinking about, his need to be sensible and to make sense out of everything.
Yes.
That and then of course she's Beverly's like, the opposite. And perhaps that when he was younger, perhaps he was like that. And maybe his father beat into him, no, you can't be emotional. You can't, you gotta do things sensibly or be organized,
Yes.
So
That's possible too. I'd also like you to consider the possibility that that your own lack of success as a writer is what caused you possibly to give up, which is what caused you to so that I would like you to try to think in terms of not necessarily who to blame it on, but yourself. In other words, you can say that your parents are possibly an influence, but when it comes down to it, because it's yourself eating away at yourself, I think you have to look for your answer somewhere inside of him, if that makes any sense.
yes, it does. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. Because again, similar frustration as an artist myself, that I really feel that I've achieved a lot of success, but I haven't achieved any success. So, there's that aspect that only 10 people know about it. That when you go into show business, you're thinking that maybe it's going to be more than 10. So, and that might have something to do with, rearranging your thought process. So I just wanted to give you that to think about, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Cam, what have you looked at the script? What are the clues of the source of your cancer that you can find?
Wait a minute, my screen is screwed up. Okay, I thought breast and colon,
Okay. All right.
because they're sort of related.
Well, I think breast makes a lot of sense. I think she talks about it, that one of her breasts is
She has no breast, or she says she has no breasts anymore.
right.
And she says her bowels are still working, but which implies that like there are problems down there. I think everything, I think she probably started with breast cancer and it spread. She has missing a lung too, so I think she probably had lung cancer too.
Right.
She was a smoker.
Well, maybe it's that metastatic breast cancer that, starts out in one place and then it moves to someplace up.
Over.
So here we
She
go.
got it late because she, just didn't, was doing too many other things and didn't take care of it at all.
Right. So here, according to Louise, the breasts represent mothering and nurturing and nourishment. So that's pretty obvious, I think. But breast problems is a refusal to nourish the self, putting everyone else first. So I might posit the idea that for some reason, Claire is all you've ever been able to focus on. And so that aspect of putting everyone else first should be reduced to always putting Claire first, which I think helps negate Agnes, and puts her in her proper sphere as well. Does that sort of make sense to you?
No,
No? Tell me why not.
I don't, I don't feel like I put Claire first so much as I'm hungry for her love. I don't think I necessarily, I think I choose, she is my favorite and I do the most for her.
You think,
But I
you,
think,
you think about
I
her all
think
the
I'm-
time.
I think about her all the time and I'm greedy for her. She is my favorite child. But I
Right,
think as a mother,
yeah.
I don't think mothering was my number one thing. I think it's this has to be done and this has to be done and this has to be done because I am the man
Yeah,
and you are my children and Claire is great. Claire is my love and my, everything, but I don't think I put her first. I think she is my love, but I don't think I put her first in the way you're talking about.
well, I think you do put her first in terms of the people who have meant the most to you in your family. You know what I mean? I do think that you have over obsessed with her, and certainly that's partially Agnes's fault for continuing the lie that has been going on for years and years and years that she's still alive,
You
and
mean
never allowing you to actually face the truth of what she was puts almost an obsessiveness on it. And to me, cancer is caused from an obsessiveness, right? And if we pass that along to say that then it went to your lungs, I'm pretty sure I remember what lungs are, but the lung is fear of taking it out.
you know what, Bill? I think I'm taking you wrong anyway.
Okay,
I
so
think
tell me
when you
why.
mean-
Tell me
Because
why.
when I hear putting somebody first, it's like you're putting them in, you're putting their welfare in front of yours, in front of you,
Yeah.
and you're unselfish.
Right.
And I think it's more like I need, she is my favorite human being and I
Yes.
love, she is it for me. And
Yeah.
I hate Agnes because she's not Claire, or I resent
Yeah,
anyone who's
And
not Claire.
I don't think it's that you hate Agnes.
But I resent her.
Well, let's just say, because I have some experience in this area, that being the caretaker is a position of being resented by the person who is sick.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes the caretaker can't read the sick person's mind, and it begins to aberrate it in another way. So I want you to think about that. And
Yeah.
the lungs are the ability to take in life. So to me, it's like the reason it's spread to your lungs is you've lost the reason to live, to take in life anymore. You've lost the motivation to continue to take life in because Claire's not there, because you don't have what you need. Claire is, if you think of Claire as your oxygen and you've been denied that oxygen, it sort of makes sense that that's where the progression of the disease went, I think.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is, through all of these discussions, is to have you guys find an emotional place to put this character and then have them try to survive that place with the lines that the author gave you. This is why it's such a perfect exercise for what I'm trying to teach, is that I think acting is that simple, is if you can, in fact, put yourself in a place emotionally that you have no control, or the character has no control, and speak from that place, try to survive from that place. You don't have to act, you're already acting. That placing yourself in that emotional place is the acting part. Surviving it is something that we all do every day. And so that's what unites all of us, I think, both audience and actors. So anyway, think of sort of that as the beginning of your story. But again, if you don't have a copy of this, you should get a copy. It's really good. It's almost as good as my book. I'm so full of shit. Okay, Rob. Rob.
Well, I think because on page 65, and Irons was the one that pointed this out to me, that I can't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
That possibly I have testicular cancer.
Okay.
I also thought maybe because I was working in a flat iron industry for so many, what, 29 years, or I think it was that long. Possibly it was, I thought maybe because I was exposed to something there, but based on what you're saying, it's emotional.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
Right.
I mean, obviously, testicles represent any masculine principle that you can possibly imagine, right? That's just clearly what that is, right? And
Okay, yes.
so that in a way, if that's where you're going to place it, then what you're really saying is that the identification of yourself as a man has been eating away at you all your life, that maybe possibly you have had other desires in other directions, and your own masculinity has been questioned, and that's what's been eating away at you. It seems to me that you and Maggie are so unmatched. It seems like that you are so unmatched. And I don't know. I just want you to maybe look at that in that area as well, if that makes any sense. Okay.
I do. One thing that I thought was really odd about my character, that he keeps calling his son dad.
Yeah, well, I love that, you know.
What the hell that's about?
Well, I'll tell you how those things happen. Actually, I've called several people dad in my life for various reasons.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, you have to make up your own stories. But to me, Stephen is the kind of kid who always acts maturely, strangely enough, you know, and always comes up with sort of these mature answers to life's problems. And so that you go, hey, Dad, what do you think today? Huh? You know, in other words, that you sort of jokingly call him that because you're trying to reinforce one of the skills that you think that he has, which is a great sense of maturity, which also to me sort of makes sense in the context of this story, is that the most mature person on the stage in your family is Stephen. That neither one of you are facing this, nor can you tell the most mature person in your family, which is Stephen, the truth of what you have. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm trying to make sense out of all this.
It's
tell
a
personal.
confusing. I mean, I have mixed feelings because Stephen also, you know, he's cursing a lot. He's talking about dope. He's talking about that he stole a guitar case, and my character is not really, he's not really addressing it, or the way he does address it, he's doing it in a kind of a flippant way by saying, you know, when Stephen curses, you know, I say, shut your fucking mouth, or something, you know, I do a double fuck on him, you know, which is like, it's not a very parental thing to do. It's like, you know, if he doesn't want him to curse, you don't use a curse word to correct him.
Well, maybe you need to do that with Stephen because it'll make the point. I mean, what you've learned is that, in other words, I need to make that point twice to Dad because sometimes Dad doesn't always listen. You know, I mean, Dad is not all great qualities, you know. Dad is also some really negative qualities, you know, that every person has some sort of negative, you know, a feeling about that.
Right. Now, the other thing you mentioned before was that my character maybe questions my sexuality, you said, I think.
I'm saying that if you're going to locate your cancer in the testicles, that has to be part of the issue. Maybe that's not the right answer. Maybe that's not the right location. Maybe you need to do just a little more research on what kind of cancer would prevent you from having children. And it might not it might not just be testicular cancer. There might be a whole field of cancers, and I want to try to set you on the right course. You know, I also agree that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because he doesn't seem to have problems with his own masculinity as much as John's character does, for example. You know, John's character completely changed his life from a heterosexual life to a homosexual life. I mean, there's got to be some issues there.
And that's just something, I mean, we could talk about this later on because I know you want to move on, but I'm going back and forth in my mind too, because I'm just trying to think that, I mean, he had to be attracted to men before that.
Yes,
It wasn't
Yes.
like, because in the text, it makes it sound like, because, well, it's clear to me that, I mean, he wasn't dancing with Beverly because he was gay. That's really what was going on. And maybe he didn't know it or didn't realize it or didn't realize the depth of it because, and when she says, can't we just dance? Can't we just, let's just dance, and he just keeps talking, and I think men that don't want to have sex with women in a romantic situation, that's what or anybody who doesn't want to have sex with the other person when it seems that that's what's supposed to be happening. They just keep talking about other things.
good, John. That's a really good personal insight. I like that a lot. I think that makes complete sense. And all of us, most of you do know that John sort of comes from this background a little bit, right, John? I mean, John, what?
Unbelievable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, John was married and is still great friends with his ex-wife. She's a wonderful person. They work together on a day-to-day basis.
They live together now too.
And they live together now, all in the same house with Mark. Oh, Vasily, I'm talking about with Vasily. So I mean, I think to bring as much of that personal baggage makes perfect sense to bring to this character, and also probably is a little frightening to have to face a little bit. What do you think, John?
Frightening to have to
face it in the most truthful way you can possibly do it through another character.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in a very good place in my life, so I don't feel. I mean, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's just an interesting.
But the whole, I saw the
life.
I saw the writing of the one-man show. It did, and it's all good now, which is great.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, the process was not all.
Oh, sure, of course, the process and those difficult moments of having to make a choice and knowing you need to make a choice and you need to go, as much as you love that person, deeply love that person and respect that person and want to be with that person on a platonic level because you just love being with them and hanging out and doing theater together and doing shows together and, so. Yeah. But that's it. And the fear, I think it's interesting because he does say that in his mind. He says, I missed her. Brian says that I missed her.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear, for me personally, having to make that choice in my life, the fear that I was never going to see her again and we were not going to be friends anymore. And that loss of that person who was like a part of my body, you know what I'm saying? And that's, and kind of losing. That's why I always say, when you're in a relationship, unless the person was terribly abusive, I mean, if overall it was good, but there were reasons why you had to break up, if you really love that person, how do you say goodbye to that and how do you cut that part out of you? Why would you want to cut that part out of you? If in a way there was so much good there,
Yeah. Well, and you're lucky that you've had so much good surrounding that, but I don't think that you ought to completely frame it. That you ought to completely frame this character that way.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bill, they also said bladder cancer can prevent men from being able to have children.
Is that true?
I just looked it up on my phone.
Okay.
That
Interesting.
some of the treatments and that's where some of the production of sperm comes from indirectly.
It certainly does.
Gotcha. Now, another thought I had was maybe he never felt like he really provided for the family very well because he had this job that really wasn't going anywhere.
Listen, I think Cindy's nailed it because I just looked up bladder problems right here. Okay, here we go. Anxiety, and I think he is anxious. Holding on to old ideas. Now that's
God.
That nails your character there. He never had the farm. He never got the farm. He never got the life that he really wanted because for some reason she wouldn't allow him.
He talks about it.
The fear of letting go. The fear of letting go of those beliefs. And here's the here's the denouement at the end of it. It says being pissed off. So that's what you're hiding from your wife, is that you've been over a long period of time resentful of the fact that you couldn't pursue the things that you really loved and the ideas that you really had, that she didn't want to partake in, which was that whole farm idea. And then it's Stephen who brings that up, you know? She doesn't bring it up. It's Stephen who brings that up. And it accounts for her strong reaction to those sentences when they're brought up. And it also is a really good story to tell about you, about how you always try to make it seem like, oh no, it's fine, it just worked out this way. And, you know, but that deeper inside of that is what has been eating away at you all of your life.
Gotcha.
So
So
that makes, I think that makes a lot more sense, bladder cancer.
so, right, so it's repressed anger.
Yeah.
repressed
Well, that's what cancer is. Cancer is purely repressed anger. And you just got to think of it this way: is if I hold something inside of me, it will get me. It will eat me. If I don't let it go, it's going to come back and get me. You know, it's like karma. It may not happen in this lifetime. God, you want it to happen in this lifetime, but it's probably going to happen sometime. It's going to come back and get you. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this up so that we all sort of, you know, thought about this a lot, because I think it's going to dictate where you're going to come from with your characters and what you're doing. So,
Thank you.
so we'll move along as we go and talk about it. And feel free that as you guys begin to research a little bit more, now, if you've located it, find out what sort of horrible treatments you're going through right now, or you're really not going through any treatments right now, because that's why you're at this place, is that you've given up the treatments. Are you still going through treatments? What treatments have you been through? Because that, again, I got to tell you from my dear wife, Denise, who passed away, the cure killed her more than the sickness.
Right, yeah.
The cure killed her, for sure.
The same thing happened with my best friend.
It was the chemotherapy and the lack of diagnosis of secondhand infections that killed her. And that was, you know, so I just want you to sort of be aware of this whole thing, because this is where we're all coming from. And here's the great thing about what I love about this play, and what I would love you to embrace as this play, is that we've just talked about some horrible stuff for almost a half an hour right now, and placing horrible thoughts and fears and things that have been eating away from us on the inside. But what I love about this play is it's about what you're going to do to survive those moments. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's your activity, is what am I doing to get through this right now? And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's a really bad thing. I think in Cam's character's case, I think a lot of her anger is just starting to come out because her mind is also going too. I don't think she's all there. And it's, again, Alzheimer's is, I just want to look that up. Alzheimer's is a refusal to deal with the world as it is. The refusal to deal with the world as it is. And I think that's a really great phrase for Felicity. That she just, I refuse to deal with the doctors. I refuse to deal with my daughter, who's always asking me these stupid questions. And so it's taking her for granted. And then that obviously puts Claire ahead of everybody else. A lot of shit to think about, right? Anyway.
Is it Alzheimer's or is it senility?
What's that?
Is it Alzheimer's or senility? Because she does know who she's talking to and she remembers everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's Alzheimer's. My mother was much more like this. She had some surgery. She had some falls, started going downhill, and she would go in and out of real angry dementia, losing control. She was near death, and her body systems were shutting down one by one, and she was losing control. It made her angry.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
but it was
ahead.
not, it's not the same thing as Alzheimer's.
I'm sure it's not exactly the same thing, but dementia here is a refusal to deal with the world as it is. It's a hopelessness and an anger. Same definition. Refusal to deal with the world as it is. And I think that's a really key phrase for her. And I think it makes a lot of sense for Agnes, who's got to deal with somebody who doesn't, who refuses to deal with the world as it is. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it. Same thing.
That just reminds me of when we were doing the dining room and we were doing the Thanksgiving scene. And I was telling you about my mother
Yeah.
and the time, her going into the dementia, and because she was bipolar, she had been in and out of depressions a lot of her life. I can go on and on about what was going on, but I that's an interesting thing because I do feel that her brain, I think she got tired and shut down and didn't want to deal with it anymore, and was in some ways much happier because
Yeah. Well, and
she wasn't dealing with the pain anymore.
one of the big problems of putting anybody in a rehab facility, right, is that the longer they're in that rehab facility, the quicker chance they have of getting dementia because they've lost their normal activity. They lose that sense of daily existence, and that heightens the symptoms greatly. And Terry's father went through that when he fell. He fell in a parking lot and coming out of the courthouse where he was a federal judge for 27 years. And over the course of 6 months, he lost his mind in the rehab trying to recover from that, and never really got back. And it was so it's also your confinement, Cam, that is having to do with those sort of symptoms as well, if that makes sense.
Well, she's
Anyway.
blind too, so she can't really even see anything different if she wasn't confined.
Right. Well, and blind is you just don't want to see. You've just given up seeing. It's just like I can't look at it anymore. I can't watch it anymore. So there's a lot of giving up in that department. Anybody else have any questions before we start to work on the pieces tonight?
Well, we realized when we were reading this again that the cottage for Joe is new because the interviewer says, what number are you in? How do you like it? So I think that he was probably at the hospital for 6 months, because then I got a letter from him, which he
Right.
did write to, which
I
Joe
know.
did write to.
Yeah, this was cute. Rob wrote Maggie a letter today from
Ah.
character. It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I'm sure he wrote her a lot of letters.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
But anyway, I wasn't prepared because I got that phone call from probably the interviewer or whoever and said, get here now. I didn't have time to think. And I got the letter probably a few days before I got this phone call. So
Right.
it was very different from what I thought the last time, but this time I think it's new. I think it's new for him, this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's good. It also has given you less time to tell your son, which was sort of your responsibility. And it's also interesting that that your husband gives you that responsibility.
Right.
And
I felt that was kind of like, that wasn't right.
Well, listen, whenever you look at behavior like that, then what you got to do is say, well, why? That is really bad behavior. So what is the good thing that I'm doing that is creating that bad behavior? What do I need from that bad behavior? What is that saying about me, Rob? That's the important question for you to have to answer.
I'm avoiding my relationship with my son.
That's true. And that may be part of it, but you now know that your death is in sight. So perspectives have to change. I mean, perspectives, when I found I had prostate cancer, my perspective changed very quickly in one day.
Sure.
Because I wasn't sure where it was going to go or what it was going to do. And then as you go through all this stuff, your perspective changed, but realizes if the story that Anj just told is correct, and I think it's a really good story, and I think it is very close to being correct, that that in fact, you guys haven't really dealt with this at all as a family. You have not dealt with it at all. And so everybody's coming in not knowing what the other person is thinking. And I think that's,
Right.
that's clearly what's affecting Maggie's behavior when she arrives, is that she so stays in her stupor of arrival that she doesn't even recognize the fact that she's arrived yet, because staying in the stupor of the arrival means that she doesn't have to deal with it. And that is not, she's not consciously trying to not deal with it. It's what her body is doing to have to survive this incredible tension that lies underneath her, this anxiety about this trip and what's going to come out of it, and what her lot is, and that she's going to be alone with Stephen. She knows that, I mean, shit. It's a musical, don't you think?
Yeah, to feel good,
Launching to losing my mind in a minute.
It's a feel it's a feel good kind of musical. All right. If there are any more questions, John?
I just want
Go
to say,
ahead.
if Stephen Sondheim is willing to take on another musical, this would be it.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
you think so? All right. Well, I say send in the clowns. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get a piece of paper. So now, from now on, I want to work the first scene. I want to work the scenes with Stephen and with the interviewer first, and then they can go on their way, and then we'll deal with the other scenes tonight. So the first thing I want to do is the scene with page 9 through 14. That's Joe, Maggie, Stephen, and the interviewer on pages 9 through 14.
So that's one thing I want to ask you. When the stage direction says still off stage,
Yeah.
you don't see me, right? So I should be off, or
Well,
for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What I might do, and when I'm not, I want you to know I'm not thinking about this play as directing the play. Not till a week before we put it up. All I'm doing is thinking about where you were as characters. But one of the things that I might do is that I might pop your head on the screen and have you go, Joe, and then have you disappear off the screen, and then have a couple off stage and then pop up on the screen. I might vary them, but for right now, just play them all off stage. Don't be on screen until you actually arrive. And that's the same for you, Neek. All right, it's the same for you. When you arrive, then that's when you hit your arrival button. Okay.
You want me to turn my camera off for now, or?
Yeah. And so what we'll do is, and just so that we can all start practicing this, is that when you make an entrance, then you just got to turn your video on, because this is what you're going to have to do in the show, and you might as well start getting used to it now, because it's a real pain in the ass when the show starts. And it'll be
Right.
less of a pain in the ass if it's just a by rote thing that you're supposed to do. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. I want to take my sweatshirt off because I'm sweating, and I'll be right back. I'm here to tell you that a sweatshirt really does make you sweat. Okay.
I have a question of logistics.
Sure, Joel.
I have a copy of the script that you sent me,
Yeah.
and you said pages 9 to 14.
Yeah.
Well, I start on 7
Yeah. Yeah.
and end on 12.
I know. So we're going to start this scene on page 9. We're going to get back. We'll probably do that another night. But because I had these people available tonight, meaning Nikki and everybody and you and all that other stuff, I just decided I'm not going to always work these scenes in order.
Okay, no, I just was making sure I had the beginning to the end. That's all.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. And again, when we work on this, we're just going to work on each scene as its own individual self. And
Got it, yeah.
right. Okay. Hey, I want to ask you also, Vasily, did you in your research find any sort of physical issues with Mark?
No,
there
I
any
don't
sort-
think so.
No?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right. Okay. And also, Cindy, you might also want to take a look at alcoholism. You know, I just want you to just,
That's a good point.
yeah, kind of frame it. It seems like alcohol is her life. So, you know, I'm just saying. Anyway,
Hold it.
all right. So let's start everybody off screen. Joel, you'll be off screen too. I'll just hear your voice. Let me hear your voice, Boo. Joel,
Where are we starting on page 9?
let me look. Wait a minute.
Have you seen the cottage?
Yeah, let me see. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Yeah, I want to start with good. It just takes a minute. Maggie, you always want to.
You want the answer to that, Bill? Alcoholism is what's the use? Feeling of futility, guilt, inadequacy, self-rejection.
Pretty much hits the nail on the head.
Yes, it does.
Okay, it's all right. Yeah, I would say let's start with Steve's line here, over here, and then Maggie, Stephen, and then the voice of the interviewer. You see where that is? Got it?
Okay.
All right. And you guys, I'm just going to listen and watch. I'm going to take myself off the screen, listen and watch. I'm going to watch you go through the whole thing. I want to see what decisions, if any, that you've made up to this point, and then we'll go from there. I'm not going to follow the script. I'm just going to listen to you guys. Okay, here we go. So I should have, yeah, okay, good. I got Rob on the screen. Okay, here we go.
Here, over here.
Stephen,
Everything is settled, right?
Oh, yeah, Maggie knows the whole setup. I wrote to her.
And your son?
Steve? Yeah, I told Maggie to tell him. I figured he should know before he got here.
Good.
It's not an easy thing.
Come on, Mom.
I guess you know that.
give me a chance to catch my breath.
You get used to the idea, but it's not easy.
You seem fine.
Oh, me? Yeah, sure. But Maggie,
What number did you say it was?
What number cottage are you in?
Number one.
one.
One
Number
they said.
one. You got scared at first, plenty, and then you get pissed off. Oh, is that all right to say?
Yes, Joe, that's all right. It's all right for you to be angry or depressed or even happy, if that's how you feel. We want to hear as much as you want to tell us.
Look at all these goddamn trees.
Oh, watch your mouth.
Yeah, because I was plenty pissed off. I don't mind telling you that. In fact, I'm glad just to say it. You get tired of keeping it all inside. But it's like nobody wants to hear about it. You know what I mean? Even the doctors, they shove a thermometer in your mouth and a stethoscope in their ears. How the hell are you supposed to say anything? But then, like I said, you get used to it, I guess.
Come on, Mom.
There's still a few things.
You're going to give me a heart attack.
I could talk to you about it then, but maybe later.
Even if it's just to listen, that's what you're here for, Joe.
I mean,
Weird.
it happens to everybody, right? I ain't special.
I guess not, Joe.
I mean, that's the way I figure it. We could talk about that too.
Yes, we can.
Maybe tomorrow.
All right, Joe. We won't keep you now.
I'm a little nervous today.
But if you need anything,
Huh? What?
if you need anything,
Oh, sure. Thanks. We'll be all right.
you know where to find us.
Is that it?
That's it. Unless you have something.
Oh, yeah. One thing.
Dad.
Stephen?
Here, over here.
No, I guess not.
All right, then. Thank you, Joe.
Anytime.
Number one. This is it. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank you for making this possible. Hello?
He's not there.
You still there? Well, I'd better be getting back.
Mom? Where the hell?
Stephen? Hey, Dad.
Holy shit. Where the hell?
There you
Nico,
are.
come on.
Oh, sorry.
Put your video on. All right, here we go.
Sorry.
Here we go.
There you are. I've been waiting all day.
Have you been? We've been traipsing around the whole goddamn place.
I've been here waiting. Where's your mother?
One cottage after another. Is this it? Is this it?
Joe? Stephen, is that your father?
Far out. I brought my guitar. Wait till you hear. Mom, over here. For Christ's sake. So many goddamn trees.
What do you think, huh?
So many.
There's a bunk in there.
Joe?
Hey, Maggie, get the lead out.
Yeah, I saw it. Bunk beds and a fireplace. We got any wood?
You can take the top one night and the bottom the next.
I'll take the bottom. I fall off, I'll fucking break my head.
I'll break your fucking head if you don't watch your fucking mouth.
Holy shit. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
You look terrific. I was worried. I missed you. Hey, how long can we stay, huh?
I don't know, a couple of weeks. I don't know how long it.
Great. Come on, I'll show you my guitar. It was pretty cheap. I ripped off the case so it didn't cost anything. It's got a little compartment on this inside for picks and capos and dope and shit like that.
End of the line. Everybody off. The jackass is here. Come and get your luggage. You leave me alone for one more minute and I'm going to take the plane back to Newark. Stephen, are you in there?
Hey, Mom, come on in if you're coming.
I'm not coming in. You're coming out. And don't give me
Don't
any.
give me any of that smart back talk or I'll split your lip.
Well, I bought some things. I didn't know what for sure you'd want, so I thought it was better to be sure than safe. And
We'll take them inside.
oh, and Steve will get them. I've been dragging them all day.
Let me look at you, huh?
Well, I didn't know what you'd need. There's some jelly and peppers that I took off, and I thought it was 40 pounds on the plane, but they let you have extra. You can put things under the seat. A lot of people didn't have anything, so I put stuff under their seats too.
How are you, Maggie?
Fine. I brought the newspaper. Some cookies and some pumpkin flowers. I think the airplane made me sick. There was a man sitting next to me. He kept talking and talking. All those clouds, it felt like you could walk on them. I wanted to throw up, but the man beside me made me so nervous. I couldn't. Where did I put that?
Come on inside. You want some coffee?
I brought some coffee. Oh, you've got everything here already. You should have told me.
I did. I told you over the phone.
I don't remember. Well, I'll clean up tomorrow. First thing, straighten everything out.
Already clean.
You want to live in somebody else's dirt?
Maggie, it isn't the Poconos. It's clean. It's clean.
Well, you can't be too sure. Mom brought some bread, made some bread.
How is she?
Oh, she's good. Yeah, and she fell down and hurt her leg. I don't know. It's not healing very good. She's getting old. I mean, what can you do? But she made the bread anyway. I told her not to, but she said she wanted to. So, oh, and Fanny says hello. She gave me something.
I can see it later.
What is it? Oh yeah. I don't know what it is, but you know, Fanny, it could be anything. Oh, and some clam broth. Oh, Pop and Josie, they went crabbing. They took the kids and Steve went with them. They gave me almost a whole bushel so we could, so I made some sauce and we can, do you have a stove in there?
Sure, come inside. I'll show you. It's real nice.
No, I don't want to go inside.
Huh? Why not?
I don't, I'll see it. I'll see it.
But
How do I look? It's a new dress.
you look real pretty.
Well, I got dressed for the plane. I don't know. I should have worn pants. You get so tired sitting all pushed together like that. My ears hurt so bad. I mean, Steve loved it. I couldn't make him sit still. He was all over the place taking pictures of the stewardess. Loved him. She was pretty too. They look real nice. They wear they smile. I asked her what to do about my ears, and she just smiled. I don't think she heard me, so I smiled too, but it didn't do any good.
You must be tired, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you can rest.
1 minute you're there, the next minute you're here. I feel like I'm there. What else? 2,000 miles it must be. Oh, yeah, I made a ham.
What?
A ham. We can have it for lunch.
Christ.
What's the matter? It's no good?
I mean, you carried a ham 3,000 miles across the country.
No, I put it under the seat.
Well, what the hell are we going to do with it?
I don't know. I thought it lasts, so
We got everything we need. I told you.
I don't remember. You can't eat this, huh?
No, I can eat it. I can eat it. It's not that. It's what I'm not. It's not what I'm talking about.
Then what are you talking about?
I'm talking about they got ham in California. They got stores like every place in the world, and you go in and you buy whatever you want.
I'll take it back with me.
It's all right. It's here now.
I don't keep. I'll put it away. You don't have to look at it.
Oh, it's fine. It's all right. What the hell are we talking about?
You didn't say in the letter. And we talked and I couldn't remember. I tried. That's all. At first I thought it was to come and bring Steve. That's all. I thought that was it. Then I got your letter and you sound fine. And I talked to you. So I made the ham.
I missed you, Maggie. I missed you real bad.
You got to tell me what's going on. Don't make me feel so stupid, like I'm supposed to know everything. I don't know anything. I just know what I see.
Maggie,
But you look real good. You're all right now, huh?
Maggie, listen.
No, it's all right. You don't have to tell me. I can see it. You're fine, huh? It's just I got so scared thinking about it and making things up in my head. But it's all right now. I can see it's all right.
Good. I want to hold, we were only going to go to 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going past that. And so I've sort of timed this all out so that hopefully you all get equally as much of a good
Sorry, you
chance.
stop.
Yeah, so good. So here's a couple of thoughts for you guys. And also everybody else should think about these too, because some of you also have these situations as well. One thing you got to know is that there's an interviewer voice, that you as each character who talks to the interviewer, when you're talking to the interviewer, you talk to them differently than you talk to anybody else. Whether it's you're trying to hide something from the interviewer, whether there's something that you can finally release to the interviewer, whatever that is, whenever you're talking to the interviewer, realize it's not 100% your voice. You know, it's you're being monitored, you're being watched. And you got to think about the impression that you're trying to make as a patient to that interviewer. How are you? And I think, me, fine. Yeah, I'm fine. So the impression that you're trying to make to him in the very beginning, I think, Rob, is that you're grateful to be there and everything is just great. Everything's just great, you know? And then he finally comes, but you do then admit that you're nervous. So if you in fact give yourself the nerves of talking to the interviewer for the first time, then that sort of interviewer voice is going to emerge through that nervousness, right? In other words, I'm going to overcompensate in talking to the interviewer because of my nerves. And you even at a point, I think there's a definite beat change. There's a point where you mentioned the word pissed off. What is that? Rob?
Yeah, I basically I say I don't mind telling you, but I am pissed off. At first I say, is it okay for me to say that I'm pissed off?
Yeah, exactly. See, so some of this stuff that's underneath all of these nerves does start to emerge towards the ends of this conversation. But I think
All right.
we haven't done the first half of the conversation and probably won't until next week. But you've got to realize that you're talking to this guy because you're just arriving today. It's your first day, and you want to make a good impression, and then all of those sudden those things may or may not break down for you. Okay.
Right. And the other thing I'm noticing is that somewhere I don't feel I have a right to be angry about the fact that I'm dying.
Yeah, I think that.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All of this stuff that's coming up today, your arrival at the place, your arrival of the family later, this has got to be just a bunch of questions to you, which is what is probably, in fact, fueling those nerves. And because you have nerves, do I want to show the nerves to the interviewer? I don't think you do. Do I want to show the nerves to my wife? Especially not. Not because the one thing that I know from Anj, and Anj, the rhythm that you've adapted for this character at the very beginning is correct. I think the rhythm is right, but it needs to be more business related. In other words, and it's the business of arriving, right? So yeah, I got this. In other words, it's almost like being mind fucked on that one whole thing about all this, and even when he says to you, do you want some coffee? Oh, I brought some coffee. You know, in other words, it's not even, you don't even think of it in terms that he's inviting you in for coffee. You don't hear that. You hear the word coffee. I got it. That's
Right. Okay.
sort of where your head is at. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense to you? Good.
Yeah, she's obviously a super caretaker that doesn't even think of anything else but being a caretaker.
Well, I don't think that she's had an opportunity to be a real caretaker as yet. I mean, I'm sure she's been through some chemo with you, but you guys have been separated for a while. So, and I think this is part of the reason that you don't even connect on the first meeting is because you've both been involved in two completely different worlds. Anja's character, the world of denial, and your character is the world of pretending to be completely acceptant of this, you know? It's I mean, what could be a better conflict? You have a line, Steve, Rob, that holy shit. What do you say? You say holy shit. What?
Oh, that's Steven, I think.
That's Stephen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stephen, when do you say that? I know what that is.
Give me a second. I know I say holy shit twice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that little moment between you and your father when you swear, and then he actually loses it for a minute. Can you guys go to that for a second?
Yes. It's on page 12, I think.
Yeah, the first half of the holy shit, the fourth line or fifth line down,
You see where it is?
page 12.
It should be, give me 2 or 3 lines before you say fuck. Let's do that. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Go, Rob.
Who don't want me to start? I can start. What do you think, huh?
So many.
There's a bunk in there.
Joe?
Hey, Maggie, get the lead out.
Yeah, I saw bunk beds and a fireplace. We got any wood?
You can take the top one night and the bottom the next.
I'll take the bottom. I fall off, I'll break my fucking head.
Hey, I'll break your fucking head if you don't watch your fucking mouth.
Good. So this is a place where, in other words, what you've also got to have, it's very funny. You've got an interviewer voice, right, Rob? You've also got to have a Stephen voice.
Oh, okay.
You know, and because I think what you're trying to do is to make this seem like a great vacation to this kid.
Right.
Right? Hey, there's a bunk inside. Hey, tell you what, kid, you can have the top bunk. I'll take the bottom. You take the bottom. I'll take the top. So this sense of really wanting to connect with him like you've never connected with him before. And I think that's the Stephen voice that you have to have. Right?
Alright.
And then the third element for you, Rob, happens is when Anj comes in, when Maggie comes in, she really dominates the whole scene, and you just sort of have to sit there and observe her and know exactly kind of what she's going through and try to get her out of it in different ways using different tactics. But I think it doesn't take him long to recognize the fact that that she's in another world.
Right. Yeah.
And because you're in another world, it's easier for you to recognize that. If you were in the same world as she was, might not be as easy to recognize it, but you're coming from a place of acceptance and she's coming from a place of denial. And so I think you observing her and using as many tactics as you can possibly think to try to kid her out of it or get her out of it or whatever it is, that becomes your Maggie voice.
Okay. Yeah. I see that I'm trying to be loving toward her and try to.
Yeah, you try to kid her and you say, come on, it's fine, or you know, yeah, okay. But both sit. So you guys, right before Anj enters, you guys have to exit into the house. So you guys have to disappear. So Anj enters by herself, and then you guys call to her from the house, and then Rob, you make your entrance out of the house when you repeat that line, whatever that line is,
Your lip.
yeah, your lip line, So you're out just before Anj comes in, you two have to leave. So mark that as an exit, and then also mark your entrance.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
I think it's on page 13 in like the middle.
Okay, just 1 second. So, all right. Okay, so when we go into the cottage, at that point, after Steve says great and it says dope and shit like that, then we exit the scene.
Yeah, and then Maggie comes on all by herself, and she has the screen all by herself. And that's when she is all about the business of arriving. And again, the fact that emotionally where you are is you are exhausted. You're exhausting yourself, Anj. That's actually happening to you. So when you hit that seat, when you land in that seat with that bag of shit, it's got to be, God, and then putting that thing up there, and it's just like, holy shit. And then it becomes all about business. Okay?
Yep.
What else? I think that's it. So read that little section from the fuck, from just before the fuck for me. All right, here we go.
Let me just get it up on the screen. All right.
Page 12, bottom.
I got it. What do you think, huh?
So many.
There's a bunk in there.
Joe?
Hey, Maggie, get the lead out.
Yeah, I saw bunk beds and a fireplace. We got any wood?
You can take the top one night and the bottom the next.
I'll take the bottom. I fall off, I'll break my fucking head.
I'll break your fucking head if you don't watch your fucking mouth.
Holy shit.
Good. Now, so there's that moment. I want to see a really strong reversal from Rob. So much so, an emotionally strong reversal on how you're dealing with him. That language, for some reason, is a line that you want to draw with him, and then realize the next thing he says to you is "Holy shit."
Right. He obviously doesn't respect my authority here.
Let's just say he's more lost in himself than he is worrying about you at this point. He has no reason to worry about you. He has no reason to do anything but have the relationship he's always had with you. So, and also that reversal on calling him on the fuck is sort of what triggers that just momentary weakness for you. You know how doesn't something happen to you physically? Doesn't he say, are you all right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, yes, that's right. That's true.
So it's that emotional switch that sort of acts as the catalyst for that.
Okay, so, all right, so I was trying to do it more like, when I first did it last week, I did it with a more angry tone.
Right.
And this week I tried to do it more like playing around with him. But maybe I'm kind of thrown
Yeah.
off.
Let's just see what happens I want to see what happens. Go back and run that one second time and completely reverse yourself and be a son of a bitch father, not wanting his son to swear, and see where that and follow through with a line or two after that. Here we go.
Okay. What do you think, huh?
So many.
There's a bunk in there.
Joe,
Hey, Maggie, get the lead out.
Yeah, I saw bunk beds and a fireplace. We got any wood?
You can take the top one night and the bottom the next.
I'll take the bottom. I fall off, I'll break my fucking head.
Hey, I'll break your fucking head if you don't wash your fucking mouth.
Holy shit. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm great.
You look
Good. Rob, that seems like the right way to go with that. Seems exactly the right way to go with that. That you just sort of lose it for a second and then it sort of puts you in another place and he's got to bring you back. I think that makes sense.
Right. I guess, I've got there's a control thing going on here and it just was throwing me off.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle that for some reason.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You just hear that and it triggers something, right? You taught the kid not to swear, but it didn't stick.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't stick. Okay, so your objective when Maggie comes in, Rob, is after you observe her being in another world, then your object and your objective needs to be to bring her back into this world. The world that you're actually living in now. So that becomes your action. And you have to do whatever you can to take her out of this ultra business mode and do that. And then Anj, come on back on for 2 seconds. Anj, so your breakdown started to happen really well and really naturally. And I think it's going to happen even more naturally the more business-like you contain yourself. Do not allow it. If you feel a little emotion creeping out, push it back. If you feel it creeping out, I love that idea of you actually pushing against your own emotions. And then there's just a point where you just sort of let that go. Tell me what's going on. I think that's somewhere around the break point. Then let that lead you where you're going. I felt you were trying to manipulate it back to something, but
you're right.
let that go and try to see where that goes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank
come
you.
on back, everybody. Come on back. I want to see everybody for a sec. Good. So is there anything in there, you guys, that I gave those notes that you sort of hear yourself in, right? You can hear your own character's issues in some of those notes. Am I right? The voices,
Mhm, yes.
Yeah,
right? Cindy, one's going to come up for you is how do I talk to Mark? Well, you're going to have to figure out that voice tonight, right?
right.
Same thing all the way through. Okay. So I wanted to go back and do another lap on this, but I want to make sure I get through everything that I've got on the schedule. So I'm going to pass. I gave you guys some good notes. That's what I want you to work on. Steve. Yeah, Nico.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
The song that Steven plays, how much of that do you want me to learn?
Can you learn it?
I can probably do that. I've played guitar a little bit. I've mostly played ukulele, but when I've tried to switch over to guitar and play that, it's been not that difficult to
Great.
transfer
Well,
over. I just need to learn it essentially. So
Yeah, what song, tell me, what song does he sing again?
Good night, Irene, I think.
Oh,
is-
Yeah.
Good Night, Irene. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Give that a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All
So, Nico, I think you're done for tonight. I'll see you. I'll let you know what the schedule is next week. You may or may not be in it, but we will keep you informed as we go along.
Well,
Great.
wait a minute. Can we have Steve's, Nico's number? 'Cause
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't-
Nico, what is your email and your phone number?
my email, I'll put it in the chat, but I'll also say it. My phone number is 206
Huh?
445
Mhm.
5639.
Okay, great.
And then I'm also writing my email in the chat, but it's nicojjohnston@gmail.com.
I just want to say, I think Nico looks like Anj and Rob's child.
I know.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
We're
I don't
not
know, John.
telling.
Pretty good casting.
We didn't tell you guys.
Okay. All right,
Thank
guys.
you, Nico.
Thank you, Nico. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. Thanks for doing this. It's going to be a great little journey.
Yeah, of course. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I enjoyed working with you tonight.
Thank
Yeah.
you too.
Okay, so now I want to move to the interviewer scene with Brian.
Okay.
Okay, so so it's the interviewer. It's pages 18 to 22. And guys, if I say we're going 18 to 22, please stop on 22 because
I'm sorry.
I'm not going along in the script. There was a certain point when I went, God, this sure seems a lot more like 8 pages than 4 to me. So
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, let's start this interview. So everybody off screen except John should be the only one on screen. All right, here we go.
People don't want to let go, do they?
How do you mean, Brian?
Well, they think it's a mistake. They think it's supposed to last forever. I'll never understand that. My God, it's the one thing in this world you could be sure of. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter anything, sooner or later, it's going to happen. You're going to die. And that's a relief if you think about it. I should say, if you think clearly about it.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, the trouble is that most of us spend our entire lives trying to forget that we're going to die, and some of us even succeed. It's like pulling the cart without a horse. Or is that a poor analogy?
No, Brian, I think it's fine.
Well, you get the gist of it anyway. I'm afraid I've really lost my touch with words. They don't add up as neatly as they used to.
But you're still writing.
Oh, yes, with great abandon. I may have lost touch with the words, but I still have faith in them. Eventually, they have to mean something. Give or take a few thousand monkeys, a few thousand typewriters. I'm not particular. Am I being helpful or just boring?
Very helpful.
I don't see how. Too much thinking and talking. My former wife once said to me, "We've done enough thinking. Could we just dance for a few years?"
Did you?
No, I have lousy feet. Instead, I started going on about music and mathematics, the difference between the Apollonian airs and Dionysian rites, explaining to her the history of dance and the struggle with form. And before I finished the first paragraph, she was gone.
Gone for good?
Like a bat out of hell.
I see.
Yeah, so do I now. But then I didn't. I became totally irrational, idiotic in the Greek sense of the word. I blamed her, I damned her, I hated her. I missed her. And I got so worked up, I began to realize what she was talking about. You see, I'd lost the energy of it, the magic of it. No wonder she left. After all, the universe isn't a syllogism, it's a miracle, isn't it? And if you can believe in one small part of it, then you can believe in all of it. And if you could believe in all of it, well, that is a reason for dancing, isn't it?
What happened to her?
Beverly? Oh, she's still dancing as far as I know.
I see.
Well, every life makes sense on its own terms, I suppose. She must be very happy. I'm sure of that. Otherwise, she would have come back. Oh, there I go rambling on again. I'm sorry.
You seem to have everything so well thought out.
Well, I think it's important to be sensible, even about the miraculous. Otherwise, you lose track of what it's all about.
How is Mark?
Speaking of miraculous, well, he's fine.
Brian,
What's the official line on him now?
How do you mean?
Well, I know these are supposed to be strictly family situations. I'm curious. I mean, what are we calling him this week? Nephew, cousin, butler?
No, I have him down as a friend
I see.
in the Greek sense of the word.
Ha ha, very good. Very good.
He's welcome to come and talk to us if he likes.
Well, we've talked a lot about it already. Generally, we have the same opinion on the subject. Wisdom doesn't always come with age. Occasionally, the young can be as rational as you or I.
Yes, I suppose they can.
Oh, my watch has stopped. How long have I been babbling?
It doesn't matter. There's no hurry.
Well, not for you, maybe. Some of us are on a tighter schedule.
Oh, I am sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's all right. It's all right. You mustn't take all this too seriously. I don't. Our dreams are beautiful. Our fate is sad. But day by day, it's generally pretty funny. Well, we can talk tomorrow if you want. I don't mind. It's a bit of a shock, that's all. You always think, no matter what they tell you, you always think there's more time and that you have more time, and you don't. But I appreciate what you're trying to do here, and I do enjoy being a guinea pig.
Good. Very good.
Well, tomorrow then, if I'm still breathing, or even if I'm not, I don't think it'll stop me from talking.
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay, good. All right, nice first pass, John. Some of the things that are working for you is self-confidence. You know, a false sense of self-confidence. I like that a lot. I want you to think of yourself. I want you to go into it teaching him what you know. So that you almost reverse the situation on him. You know, that you seem to try to make yourself the expert. And I think Joel, the interviewer recognizes that and has seen that many times before, and probably enjoys interacting with it because he knows what it is and almost likes to try and, in fact, encourage it to come out a little bit more.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. And the more he tries to do that, then of course, the more you teach him, right? But you've got, the real truth of the situation is, I've lost my touch, you know, so many monkeys, these are all self-deprecating things. This is really sort of where he's coming from, and he's saying them as jokes, but it's really, you've got to make them more jokes so it looks more like a cover, John. Should feel more like a cover.
Yeah. And the more I do this, the more I'm realizing he's always apologizing for who. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't. Is that too much? Is that, he's really as secure as he's acting about what he's saying. He's really quite insecure.
Well, and let me just say that I think that possibly could be who he's been most of his life. Right. So that he has this whole new thing like I've got death solved. You know, I mean, I fucked up the rest of my life. I don't have any words, my words don't come to me, but I got fucking death solved. I mean, death is pretty fucking simple. It's pretty fucking obvious. We're all going to do it sometime. You know, I think those two things work nicely in tandem.
I have a quick question. I don't know why I'm not understanding this. When he says when he's talking about 1,000 monkeys and 1,000 typewriters, what does he mean by monkeys?
Well, I know, I don't know whether you know this joke or not,
Yeah.
but actually there was a whole play written on it. David Ives wrote a play on it. That if you put a monkey and a typewriter in a room, that eventually they would write Hamlet. That, eventually through law of averages, they would write, that's what that-
1,000 monkeys over 1,000 years.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that, clarifying that, Joel. That's what that's based on.
Okay.
And Stan Freberg did a thing on that where he's, oh, I think we got something here. What to be or not to be, that is the Hitzenkupennochen,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, and like I say, David Ives, I forget, God, All in the Timing. I think that's what his play is called. And there's a one-act play where there are 3 actors who play monkeys, and they all have typewriters. And there are 2 psychiatrists up overwatching them in an observatory room. So there's a whole play based on that ridiculous theory. But that's what that means. I mean, it's the ultimate self-deprecating remark.
Yeah.
And then, John, you say the word now once in returns that now everything is different. There's a word, just a solo now. You see that?
Do you know where it is?
It's somewhere in the middle. It's before I've been rambling on. It's you blaming. It's you blaming her.
Yeah, see, so do I. So you see, so do I now.
What page?
What page?
Hang on. That's when he's talking to the interviewer about Beverly. So that would be. So do I now. Da, da, da.
Oh, yeah. I see it. It's so do I now. Yeah,
Yeah.
now. But I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
top of page 20.
What's the punctuation on that, John?
So it's so do I, ... now, period.
Oh, all right, good. So do I. And all the weight of what now means to you needs to be on that. You need to arrive at all the weight of what that word means to you. I thought that would be a ... And then just realize also that your rhythm is coming close. Once it becomes teaching, it will sound more like rambling. It's bad teaching. It's not good teaching.
It's the explaining, not the
Yeah,
telling.
yes, it's the explaining, not the, because I know so much, I'm going to explain it all to you. Absolutely. Thank you. I told you.
All right, trivia question of the night. What is ... called?
An ellipse.
Ellipsis.
Ellipsis, yes.
Recordings for the blind.
Thank you so much.
But, no, I'm still, I'm trying to make sense of what he's saying here, because where he's right in this section, so do I now, but then I didn't. I became totally irrational, idiotic in the Greek sense of the word. Like he's blaming her for his homosexuality. It's like, in other words, like, because it didn't work out with her and she left, he became gay, he became and he's saying I became irrational. He's calling it irrational instead of just going out, and the idea is that he's really going out and just discovering who he really is and what. Now, he's not doing it. I mean, he didn't do it because he was trying to get back at her, because he just freaked out. I mean, this is what I was saying at the beginning today, that it's almost like he doesn't even realize. Well, listen, I told you about my father. So,
right. That's what I'm saying, John. It's not exactly your story, but there are similarities, but it's not exactly your story.
Yeah.
So don't think of it that way. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, he's just, it's almost like, is he just not seeing that, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. It's not, I don't think that he doesn't not see it. I think it's either he doesn't want to talk with it, or he's trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Or he's just flat out lying.
Well, he does, and that's why he says, so do I now, because now he understands it all.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah.
And then what's the next line after now?
But then I didn't. I became totally irrational.
Yeah, but then I didn't. I mean, I was an idiot then. Now that I've discovered what death is, I know exactly what's. See how that all just
Yeah.
sort of pops together. Also, that joke. I love the joke, and I love, Joel, the way you're playing with him on the Greek joke, right?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? Give me a line or two before that.
Oh, is that the one where the friend, where he says in the Greek sense of the word?
Yes, yeah. Give me 2 or 3 lines before that.
So it's, well, I know these are supposed to be strictly family situations. I'm curious. I mean, what are we calling him this week? Nephew, cousin, butler?
No, I have him down as a friend
I see.
in the Greek sense of the word.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, good, Joel. And you can even enjoy that joke even a little more because he used that Greek sense of the word on idiotic before.
Right.
And I think that the interviewer, kind of knows that what John and I were talking about, that it was a cover, that it was like, I was an idiot then, but I'm not an idiot now. No, you are an idiot now. You're dying. Anyway, okay, cool.
Hey,
All right, I'm going to give you one more lap on it, and then we're going to go on. All
Okay.
right, here we go.
1 second.
So teach him,
Yes, sir.
because you've solved this problem. And here we go.
Teaching's not difficult for me.
That's what I heard.
People don't want to let go, do they?
how do you mean, Brian?
I think it's a mistake. They think it's supposed to last forever. I'll never understand that. My God, it's the one thing in this world you can be sure of. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter anything, sooner or later, it's going to happen. You're going to die. And that's a relief if you think about it. I should say, if you think clearly.
Go back, John, and don't even make that a negative thing. That sooner or later, it's like so fucking obvious. And just, you know what I mean? So that almost your point of view seems to be like, God, this is so simple.
Yeah, right.
It's even funny. It's so simple. Start it again. Here we go.
People don't want to let go, do they?
How do you mean, Brian?
Well, they think it's a mistake. They think it's supposed to last forever. I'll never understand that. My God, it's the one thing in the world you can be sure of. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter anything, sooner or later, it's going to happen. You're going to die. And that's a relief if you think about it. I should say, if you clearly think about it.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, the trouble is that most of us spend our entire lives trying to forget that we're going to die. And some of us even succeed. It's like pulling the cart without the horse. Or is that a poor analogy?
No, Brian, I think it's fine.
Well, you get the gist of it anyway. I'm afraid I've really lost my touch with words. They don't add up as neatly as they used to.
But you're still writing.
Oh, yes, with great abandon. I may have lost touch with the words, but I still have faith in them. Eventually, they have to mean something. Give or take a few thousand monkeys, a few thousand typewriters. I'm not particular. Am I being helpful or just boring?
Very helpful.
Well, I don't see how. Too much thinking and talking. My former wife once said to me, "We've done enough thinking. Couldn't we just dance for a few years?"
Did you?
No, I have lousy feet. Instead, I started going on about music and mathematics, the difference between Apollonian airs and Dionysian rites, explaining to the history of dance and the struggle with form. And before I finished the first paragraph, she was gone.
Gone for good?
Like a bat out of hell.
I see.
So do I. Now. But then I didn't. I became totally irrational, idiotic in the Greek sense of the word. I blamed her. I damned her. I hated her. I missed her. And I got so worked up, I began to realize what she was talking about. You see, I'd lost the energy of it, the magic of it. No wonder she left. After all, the universe isn't a syllogism. It's a miracle, isn't it? And if you can believe in one small part of it, then you can believe in all of it. And if you can believe in all of it, well, that is a reason for dancing, isn't it?
What happened to her?
Beverly? Oh, she's still dancing as far as I know.
I see.
Well, every life makes sense of its own terms, I suppose. She must be very happy. I'm sure of that. Otherwise, she would have come back. Well, there I go, rambling on again. I'm sorry.
Well, you seem to have everything so well thought out.
Well, I think it's important to be sensible, even about the miraculous. Otherwise, you lose track of what it's all about.
How is Mark?
Speaking of the miraculous.
Brian,
Fine. What's the official line on him now?
How do you mean?
Well, I know these things are supposed to be strictly family situations. I'm curious. I mean, what are we calling him this week? Nephew? Cousin? Butler?
No, I have him down as a friend,
I see.
in the Greek sense of the word.
Very good. Very good.
He's welcome to come and talk to us if he likes.
Oh, we've talked a lot about it already. Generally, we have the same opinion on the subject. Wisdom doesn't always come with age. Occasionally, the young can be as rational as you or I.
Yes, I suppose they can.
Oh, my watch has stopped. How long have I been babbling?
Doesn't matter. There's no hurry.
Well, not for you, maybe. Some of us are on a tighter schedule.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
It's
that.
all right. It's all right. You mustn't take all this too seriously. I don't. Our dreams are beautiful. Our fate is sad. But day by day, it's generally pretty funny. We can talk again tomorrow if you like. If I don't mind. It's a bit of a shock. That's all. You always think, no matter what they tell you, you always think you have more time, and you don't. But I appreciate what you're trying to do here, and I do enjoy being a guinea pig.
Good. Very good.
Tomorrow, then, if I'm still breathing. Or even if I'm not, I don't think it'll stop me from talking.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Good. Hey, Joel, I just want to say that if you ever feel like he makes you laugh, you can laugh. It doesn't matter. You don't have
Oh,
to,
okay.
right?
Okay.
In other words, I think you enjoy this interview. I think you enjoy all your interviews and you learn a lot from all of them, but you're up against a really strong intellectual guy, and I think you enjoy that interaction a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
I think that's fun. It'll bring that to you. Poor analogy. What's a poor analogy, John? It's in the beginning.
Um,
Oh, it's the cart before the horse.
yeah.
Right. So read me that line.
All right. Well, the trouble is that most of us spend our entire lives trying to forget that we're going to die, and some of us even succeed. It's like pulling the cart without the horse.
Good. Now
that a
hold it. Yeah. Hold and wait for a reaction. It's like putting the horse before the cart before the horse. Or is that a poor, in other words, that since he doesn't react to it, he doesn't laugh to it, he doesn't react to it in any way, that's what all of a sudden creates this great doubt in you,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
right? As many jokes as you can make, I think that's what you want to try to do, especially about your former wife. Feel free to make as many jokes as you want.
Okay.
I think that's going to work to cover what you're trying to feel. But I think there's one sense of admittance that has to be true, and that's the idiotic admittance. That's when you say after the now, then what's the line after the now?
But then I didn't. I became totally irrational, idiotic in the Greek sense of the word.
Yeah. So yeah, but then I didn't. I mean, I became irrational. I mean, I was admit it. I mean, just cop to that, because that's something that you can cop to.
Yeah.
All right. I also thought that you were too thoughtful before the second time that you said, "Am I rambling again?" I know you say rambling once, and that's fine. But the second time you say, "Am I rambling again?" and you didn't seem to be rambling before then. So set yourself up a little better.
Rambling or babbling?
Rambling's on 20.
Okay, the one, whatever's the second one, babbling or whatever's the second one. Because you say it twice. You go
Oh,
rambling or babbling
Yeah,
or
I say she must be very happy. I'm sure of that. Otherwise, she would have come back. There
Yeah.
I go, rambling on
Yeah.
again. I'm sorry.
yeah. She must be. Shit. There I go, rambling again. I mean, shit. I'm so fucked up. So just ramble right into it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then I think you might have a little more fun too on dealing with Mark on going, making it a little more secretive. What's the official line on him? You know, like it's between you and me. I just like it's a little secret between you and me.
Okay.
So that it's not handled the same way as any other subject. Mark is not handled the same way as any other subject. No pun intended. Okay, good. All right, that's a good shot at that first time through. Thank you. It's great. Good. Joel, come on back for a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
I know. Well, I just want to say I love you, Booby. Happy birthday. It was great to see you. It was great to hear you. And we'll talk this week and I'll send you the schedule.
Yes, kind sir.
Okay, you may check out and everybody else come on back.
We didn't get Joel's phone number.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh,
I'll
you
give it-
want it?
Yeah,
I
It's-
put it
it's
on
on-
that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
on
the
Bill's
sheet.
sheet.
It's
It's
on
on
my
the
sheet.
email.
In the email that he sent.
I don't see it. I have it right in front of me.
Well, I'll be glad to give it to you.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
305 665 7835.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Joel.
Bye.
Love you. See you
Bye,
soon, honey.
Joe.
Happy
Bye.
birthday.
Bye.
So are we assuming? Is it? I could see from my text, my dialogue with him, that it's the first. This is the first interview.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, no, this isn't your first interview with the interviewer.
It's not.
It couldn't be, because why would you say that line about what are we calling Mark now?
Oh,
That precludes a previous interview.
only because I say okay. No, I thought I thought it was because I say I can come back tomorrow and we can talk again or something like that. Okay. All right.
Right. Yeah, and you.
Okay. But
Yeah.
does that not necessarily have to have been with the interviewer? I mean, it could just be the policy of the place that, and maybe this, you know what I'm saying? That.
Well, I think the interviewing is the policy. I mean, I think it is the policy of the place to interview everybody on a regular basis.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Let's go to Anj and to Meliora and Cam.
Okay.
So are you done with me at this point, or?
Well, sure, but the only reason I'm letting the others go is because they're not really in my acting class.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right. This is class, and and I'm hoping that each of you can learn from each other. And
Right.
where
We're staying. We're staying. No. Okay. Good. Fine.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't know if you were. All right.
Yeah, just because Nico is being so nice to do this, as well as Joel, I'm just going to always probably try to get them out of here first, and then we can,
Okay.
just deal with our class.
Yeah. Okay.
My classy class. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is the first scene, 44 to 47. Am I correct, Mel?
Yes.
Okay, you got it, Cam. You ready to go? Let
You're
me get
on
my-
mute, Cam.
And there goes Bill. Okay, here we go.
You're still on mute.
Okay,
There
got
she-
it.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord of all, we bow before thee, and on earth thy scepter claim. All in heaven above adore thee.
What the hell is that?
It's a hymn, Mama.
A hymn. The time for hymns is when I'm in the coffin. Sing us a song.
A song?
You know what a song is, don't you?
Of course I know what a song is, but I don't think I know anything.
Roll me over in the clover. Roll me over, lay me down and do it again.
People can hear you.
Do 'em good. This is number one and the fun has just begun. Roll me over, lay me down and do
All right,
it
Mama,
again.
I'll get you some tea.
Roll me over in the clover. Roll me over.
Would you like that?
Down and do it again. Put me
Would
by
you
the
like the
table.
tea, Mama? You,
This is number T.
you should rest, Mama. You should try to rest. This medicine does you no good if you exhaust yourself.
Other side, other side. This is number
Done enough
T,
singing now.
and
I
it's
want you to
underneath.
stop.
Lay,
please.
roll me over, lay me closer, closer.
There. Is that all right?
This is number 4. I don't remember 4.
I don't know, Mama. I don't think I know this song.
This is number 5, and his hand is on my thigh. You know that one?
No, Mama, I don't.
I'll pass you by, Agnes.
Who, Mama?
They'll leave you at the station with your suitcase in your hand and a big gardenia tacked to your collar. Sons of bitches.
I'm not anxious to go anywhere.
This is number 6, and his hand is on my tits.
Mama!
Does that make you anxious?
No,
It makes me anxious, and I don't even have tits anymore.
I'll get you some tea, Mama.
Tea, tea, tea. Tea, 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 tea.
Oh, please, Mama, I'm very tired.
This is number 7, and we're on our way to heaven.
Mama, stop it! Oh.
Put them away. Put them away. Shoot them and bury them. You can't get good milk from sick cows, can you?
No, Mama, you can't.
They're not doing anybody any good. Standing around making noises like it mattered, bursting their bellies, and there's nothing good inside. Just a lot of bad milk. Put them away. You see that machinery.
Yes, Mama, I will.
Wants attention.
We'll manage. We can sell off some of the land if we have to.
But not the house.
No, not the house. We'll keep the house.
What? What time did you say it was?
Oh, about 4. 4:15.
Where? Where?
No, Mama, it's Agnes.
It hurts. It hurts now.
I know, Mama.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
I'll give you some of the medicine.
Yes, with some tea. Can I have it with some tea?
Yes, Mama, I think so.
Just 1 cup, very weak.
Yes, Mama, I'll make it for you.
Agnes!
Yes, Mama. Yes, Mama, I'm here.
Yes,
I'm just gonna make the tea.
all right. Agnes!
Yes, Mama, I'm here. It's all right. I'll get you your tea and then I'll read you your letter.
Where are they now?
Let me check the calendar.
Is that the end? That's the end of the scene, right? Okay, good. again, I don't have this in front of me. I'm just watching you guys. So, okay, great. Good, 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 good. Couple of things. Mel, I think even with that song, maybe you need an activity in the beginning.
Okay.
You know, knitting or something or whatever
Something.
whatever
Okay.
she would do that would give her some sort of self-satisfaction. Right? That would be a nice survival technique, whatever she feels she does well and could compliment herself on, whatever that might be. So,
I have an idea.
okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. I won't say any more. Cam, I want you to go through it this time, especially the very beginning. And I want you to do the fuck exercise. Because I want everything that she has to say, especially in that very beginning part, to have a really strong point of view, an overly aggressive point of view, an inappropriate point of view, lost in her own pain point of view. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Just to be clear, Bill,
Yeah,
when you say overly aggressive, lost in her own pain,
yeah. What's your first line?
what the hell is that?
There you go. You don't even have to use fuck. What's the next line? She says what?
Him, the time, I say, yeah, that time for him is when I'm in the coffin, sing us a song. A song, you know what, yeah, the lines I can see, that the song itself.
Yeah, no. The song itself is sort of your own amusement that gets you through all this pain. Okay.
So that I can, yeah. Oh, so I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's like the conversation of everyday life that's a pain in the ass to you. And it's great. And you know, there was only one point where you said the word tea or something was in there, where Mel has a long speech over the top of one of your verses. And we'll get to it next time, but that's the one that I want you to do even smaller so that it's more in your head, so that when Mel comes over the top of you, that you guys aren't canceling each other out with the sound.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, that was listen, there was only one time where it canceled each other out. Everything else sort of worked well together in that regard. Oh, good. I'm loving your hair as you're working it out. I love that.
Oh, don't you think I wouldn't have any hair?
Oh, no. I love your hair. I love the idea that you're playing with it almost. You know, I like that. Anyway, Mel, one of the things I want you to think about is how long you've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like an awful long time to me. And so how must it seem to her, who's actually been in it? You know, it just seems like a long time to me. But I think that ought to be, it's just that, am I going to get through today? Am I going to make it through today? Just think about that length of time. Point of view, Cam, point of view. It hurts. Cam, you have toward the end, you say, well, the first thing I want to discuss is your farm voice. And I think it starts somewhere with put them all away, something like that.
Put them away, shoot them and bury them.
Yeah. That's got to be like you're giving an order to somebody on the farm. That's got to be your farm voice. And I'm sure she ran that farm like with an iron hand. You know, when she was in charge. Actually, it's sort of interesting too, based on what we talked about earlier, is putting everything else, the running of the farm, ahead of your welfare, putting everybody else's, you know, I mean, I think that also kind of ties in. Being a farmer has to be an incredible sense of responsibility on a daily basis, with all the things that a farmer has to think about, with animals, with crops, with all of that shit. And I don't see how farmers even have time to think about themselves. I really don't. It's just, and then there's the weather, and then there's the, you know, oh my God. It's just so your farm voice. I want you to farm that. I want you to find that really firm farm voice so that we know it, so that we know by the tone of your voice and by your point of view that you are in another place, yet another place.
Okay, so that's my agency voice. I mean, I got myself back in that part.
Well,
That's the who I want to be.
you mean the farm voice is who you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I was in control then.
Yeah,
It
good.
may
I
still
like that.
be.
I like that. That you.
I was boss man.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I really do. I think that's a great idea, is that there should be a sense of enjoyment in the farm voice too, and that you really know what you're doing. And that you're the expert. Okay, good.
Okay.
And then you have, right toward the end of the scene, you say it hurts. Something is hurting and you want your tea, which is what your sweet daughter has been offering you for the entire scene that you didn't even hear. She says, I think I can get you some tea. But you need to start, the hurting's got to start before you say it hurts. The pain's got to start before. You got to find a better place to start the pain so that when you say the line, it's been inside of you for a little bit and now you're articulating it.
Okay, it comes right after. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay. It comes right after Claire, and she says, okay, it comes after, not the house. Okay, so that's when I probably start to get scared I'm gonna lose the house.
What page are you on?
47.
Okay, let me pull out the script for a second just to help you with this here. 47. Okay, yes, some tea, it hurts. We have to manage. We can sell us some of the land, but not the house. No, not the house. What time did you say it was?
And then what time did you say it was? Okay, so then I get anxious about Claire coming.
Yeah. So you see, here's your switch. Here's your change. It's Agnes goes, no, not the house. We'll keep the house. And you go, what? And that ellipse is, what time did you say it was? Now you're in another world. That ellipse takes you from the world you're in the farm talk to the desire talk of how much you want to see, how much Claire means. You know, what time did you say? Because it's about Claire. Claire, is she coming now? Do I get the letter now? Every day, do I read? What time is it? Is important to you? It's kind of like 10 minutes to Wapner, you know. It's like,
So, and it's the Claire isn't that I think that Claire is there.
yeah, no.
It's not that I think, is it like, when is she coming? When is she
Yes,
coming?
yeah. When is she coming? When do I get the letter? When do I get all of that? When do I hear the letter? When do I hear it? Exactly. 10 minutes to Wapner. I love it. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, good. Let's do a second pass on this and play with some of these ideas.
Okay, just one more question. When you said the fuck exercise, you mean say fuck out loud or just?
Yeah. Say fuck out loud. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on just a second.
What this is going to do, Cam, is it's going to give you a better arc as a character. Is if you sort of are railing against the world in the beginning, when you fade back into your death, it's going to be a really nice. You're going to have something to give up. You're going to be able to give up the fight, because remember, she is fighting on a daily basis to stay alive for one reason, and that's for Claire. So it's not like she's an asshole. She's fighting as hard as she fucking possibly can because she wants something so fucking bad. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what happens here. Here we go.
I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I'll find it.
I'm sure you will, Mel. I have no doubt about that. All right, here we go.
Holy God, we praise thy name. Proud of all, we bow before thee, and on earth thy scepter claim. All in heaven above adore
What
thee.
the fucking hell is that?
It's a song, Mama. It's a hymn, Mama.
The time for fucking hymns is when I'm in the coffin. Sing us a fucking song.
Song?
You know what a fucking song is, don't you?
Well, of course I know what a song is, but I don't think I
Roll
know
me
anything.
over in the clover. Roll me over, lay me down, do it again.
Mama, people can hear you.
Oh, God. This is number one, and the fun has just begun. Roll me over, lay me down, and do it again.
All right, Mama, I'll get you some tea.
Roll me over in the clover. Roll me over, lay me down, do it again.
Would you like that? Would you like some tea, Mama?
By the table.
You should try to rest,
It's
Mama.
number two.
This
and
medicine
it's
does you
number
no good
two.
if you
Roll me
exhaust
over,
yourself.
lay me down, do it again. Other side, other side. This is number three. And
You've
it's
done enough
hand
singing
on-
now, Mama. I
Closer.
want you to stop,
Closer, fucking closer.
please. Ah, there. Is that all right?
This is number four and his hand. Oh, I don't remember four. What's four?
I don't know, Mama. I don't think I know this song.
This is number five and his hand is on my thigh. You know that one.
No, Mama, I don't.
They'll fucking pass you by, Ed. They will.
Ooh, Mama.
They'll leave you at the station with your suitcase in your hand and a fucking gardenia tacked to your collar, sons of bitches.
I'm not anxious to be going anywhere.
Number six, and his hands are on my tits.
Mama!
Does that make you anxious?
No!
Well, it makes me anxious, and I haven't even got tits anymore.
I'll get you some tea, Mama.
Tea.
Please, Mama, I'm very tired.
This is number seven, and we're on our way to heaven.
Mama, stop it!
Put him away. Put him away. Shoot him and bury him. You can't get good milk from sick cows, can you?
No, Mama, you can't.
They're not doing anybody any good. Standing around making noises like it mattered. Burst in their bellies when there's nothing good inside, just a lot of bad milk. Put them away. You see to that machinery.
Yes, Mama,
It
I
wants
will.
attention.
We'll manage. We can sell off some of the land if we have to.
But not the house.
No, not the house. We'll keep the house.
What time did you say it was?
Oh, it's about 4. It's 4:15.
Claire. Claire.
No, Mama, it's Agnes.
It hurts. It hurts now.
I know, Mama.
Make it stop. Make it stop now.
I'll give you some of the medicine.
Yes, with some tea.
Yeah.
Could I have it with some tea?
Yes, Mama, I think so.
Just 1 cup? Very neat.
Yes, Mama, I'll make it for you.
Agnes!
Oh, yes, Mama. Yes. Here, Mama. Here. I'm just going to make the tea.
Yes, all right. Agnes!
Yes. Mama, I'm here. It's all right. I'll get you your tea and then I'll read you your letter.
Where are they now?
Let me check the calendar.
Good. Good. Nice movement on that. I really like that. You gave Mel so much more to play off of that time, Cam. It was great. And you can sub-vocalize those fucks, but don't ever lose them, because it's exactly right. It gives you, I really felt sort of like 3 or 4 different worlds that you were in that time around. And I think that's exactly what we've got to say in that first mix up with the two of you.
Okay, 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too energetic for her physical state? Or,
Not-
okay,
Nope. I honestly, I think that's one of the great parts, is that I don't think you have any real limitations. I think you can go as far as you want, but I'll be the first one to tell you to pull it back. But believe me, no, I thought you went I thought it was really, really good.
okay, so for right now, I'm not gonna worry about pulling back anything.
No, don't let me pull you back. If I'm gonna, you keep extending out. That's the way you want to work any part. You want to keep moving it in the direction that's feeling right and feeling good, and then let me pull you back if I think it's too much. But I don't want you to edit yourself.
Okay, and I wasn't working on blindness, because I like to look at, Mel, so.
I know you do. Well, you know what blindness, we talked about this before, how you can make blindness work, right? Is you just use your peripheral vision, which you can't do when you're reading the script, but when you're off book on it, you'll be able to do that. That'll create the blindness a little better. So let's do this also with Mel's activity at the top. I want you kind of sleeping, dozing at the top. So that you have a point right near the end of the song where the song almost wakes you up, takes you out of a sleep. And what the fuck is that? I think
the thing I'm working on there, Bill, is that
Yeah.
I am singing to her, hoping that she will stay asleep.
Yeah, had a girl. That's
So,
good.
I'm trying to be very soft at the end. And then she says,
Yeah.
what the hell is that? Or whatever she says.
I love that idea. That's so funny, Mel. That's absolutely
good.
perfect. I'm singing to keep her asleep. That's
Right.
absolutely. Please, the
I'm trying
baby's
to get-
asleep. The
I'm trying to
baby's
get
asleep.
softer and softer and softer,
Yes.
And then she just says, what the hell is that? It's like, oh.
Yeah. When you Cam, when you are when you're doing your farm talk, the first time is put them away, right? It's put them away, right? Isn't that the first line? That's the
Yeah,
farm talk.
Put them away.
Make that a different focus. In other words, as if you are actually seeing it either a little off right or a little off left from you, almost like you're lost in a vision that we can't see. So that it's not a straight ahead vision, it's to one side or the other, but keep it consistent.
Okay.
Right? And then you say put them away twice. Make sure that the second time you say put them away is, I said put them away. I told you that once already, so that it has that second time feeling. Okay, cool. Mel, it's also good. I like those couple of times when you get up and you're almost gone and then you have to come back again. Yeah, I think there was one other opportunity where you could have done that. So try to
Yes.
take advantage of that, because
I
it adds.
absolutely will. I just without the lines,
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm never quite sure where I am. So
Okay, good.
absolutely, because I love it. Yes.
Yeah, I love it too. And so the other thing I want to ask you is, where does it hurt, Cam? Where is the pain? You have to locate that pain, whether it's in your lung, whether it's, where is the pain coming from that you're having? I need to know where that is. And you don't have to show me now, but I need you to know that, and it needs to come from there. And that's what it's got to emanate from. I believe the line 100%. I just don't believe that it came from a place, and I want it to come from a place. And then once the pain comes, there should be a great urgency to get your meds. It's got to happen soon, immediately. Yesterday is 5 minutes ago is too late. No, it's got to be immediate. Okay.
And that's because, let's see, she doesn't say she's gonna give me my medication with this. Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. The medication comes with the tea.
Yeah.
And I guess it's getting harder and harder to swallow it.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's why she's to give
So wherever that pain comes from, once the pain comes from, that creates a problem, and you need something right away. And that urgency has to be there. Okay. Great, you guys. Great. Nice work. Yeah. The second time through was so different and so good. Now, because one of the things I love about you, Cam, is you're just not afraid to go there. And the great thing about what Mel is doing is the more you give her to go, the more she has to play with in the context of how she has to try to deal with it. And I already see her using a couple of tactics, and I like them both so far. So you're both going exactly the right direction with this. Good work. Good
Thank
work.
you.
I can tell you guys rehearsed a little bit today.
Yeah, not today, yesterday.
Yesterday. Well,
Was it yesterday? I'm lost.
Yesterday and then another time.
before the snowfall. All right, come on back, everybody. All right. Okay, so let's close off this evening with
Oh, wow.
Mark and Beverly. So do you guys have any questions before we start?
Not really. I think we'll find out them later.
We'll
Yeah.
figure that out later.
Yeah.
Cindy, anything from you?
Not really. I mean, you said something about a Mark voice.
Yeah,
I think this is like, at least initially, the polite voice.
yeah. I think this is, well, first of all, this is a surprise visit, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and this is a shot in the fucking dark for you, right? I mean, my God. And
Yeah.
and Vasily, you have no idea that she's showing up, right? Yeah, but it's not that it takes you long to recognize who it is, even though you've never met her before. You've
Yeah.
met her through John's description of
That's
her.
right.
Right. So
He
that
would tell me about her, and I believe he would tell her about me.
But we never talked on the phone or
when
anything.
we never talked.
Yeah.
yes,
We kind of we know about each other in advance.
yeah.
Right.
So let me guess, okay? So let me guess, when John spoke to you about what she was like, how do you think he described her to you?
Is that question to me or Cindy?
Yeah. How do you think he described her? I mean, John could answer that possibly, but I don't want him to. I want to see what your perception is if in fact you have only heard about her. What have you heard about her? I mean, would he build her up? Would he knock her down further to make you seem better? What do you think? How do you think he laid it out? What do you think you know before you even know?
Well, this is the thing, because it's so interesting. I never thought about this before, but now I'm thinking what possibly he would tell me about it. I believe that he would know about her, whatever, at the beginning of their relationship. I mean, between at the beginning of Mark's and Brian's relationship.
Mhm.
So I don't think he would talk. I don't think he would tell him about her later in their relationship, because if we go back to this interviewer session,
Right.
he talks about his relationship with Beverly. He mentions that eventually he kind of not regretting, but as if like he started realizing that he regrets he missed her very much.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I believe that at the beginning when they broke up, she couldn't just handle with him to be in this kind of a relationship. He might have said to Mark something that it could have been very pleasing about her.
Uh-huh.
So, and I would believe that Mark would probably had some sort of that reaction, the very first reaction about her, that he would stay with that
Mhm.
for the prolonged time
Okay.
until she appeared in the scene.
Okay.
Why wasn't it hard to know who I was though? Because you do have that line where you say, I figured it was you. It wasn't hard.
Yeah, well, I think that he probably laid it out pretty clear that you're a lush, you know, and you're walking
Okay.
in, and you're walking in, you know, 3 sheets, right? Aren't you? You are walking in 3 sheets, right?
Pretty close. Yeah, she had the accident with the scotch on the way out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, realize that when you've had a couple of drinks and you've been drinking for a while, and you know that you're a drink that before you walk into that space, you've got to focus a little bit so that you don't necessarily show the drunk, right? Right.
Uh,
So
Yeah, I don't know. Cindy and I would talked about it, but I don't really want to impose my thinking about this. And at some point, Cindy kind of agreed with me, but I don't know. It's up to Cindy what to feel about it. I have a feeling that she's not an alcoholic at all. I think she likes drinking, but she's not an alcoholic. And I think when she came to see Brian, I think there was some sort of she's under stress. She knows what she's coming to see him, but she kind of she's having them drink to relax herself. That's why she's pushing that on Mark. Don't you want to have a drink? Don't you want to have a drink? As if like, I think we need to have a drink. I think there is she's implying that we're both stressed at the moment.
yeah, well, yeah, she is definitely doing that. Definitely.
So
But
I mean, like she's stressed on her way and I'm stressed on my way.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's also like an icebreaker too.
Yeah, your survival of your stress, Vasily, is by taking care of him,
That's right.
only focusing on him. You know, how she is surviving what she's going through is that she's just trying to say, well, fuck, I'm here. Let's see what the fuck happens, you know?
That's right. That's kind of her way. That's
right. And you got to understand that that's threatening to what your objective and motivations
right.
are. That's that. And also realize that if he said anything positive about her, which I'm quite certain that he probably did, that you might even be a little jealous of her before she walks in. That because you are not what she used to be, which is what he says he misses a little.
They might be a part of it, but I didn't think about this. I mean, later on, I started realizing he's been pitying himself all that time.
He's been what?
Pitying. Pity. He's got a pity on himself, for himself.
Pitying. He's been pitying himself.
Oh, pitying. I didn't know. Pitying. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a lot of self-pity going on. That's for sure.
That's what I feel like. It's a very strong sense of pity for himself. Self-pity, I mean. So,
am I allowed to add something to this?
Of course you can. Come on in.
No, in terms of what I think Brian said to Mark about her, and I think he probably tried to capture all sides of her, and probably maybe drew her up like this incredible figure, wild
that he couldn't handle.
That I couldn't handle. Brian couldn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of this crazy, wild person that he really loved and kind of enjoyed the craziness about her. And in terms of what you said about, I was thinking that too, that Mark is feeling a little jealous because maybe in my description of her, and maybe even if I did describe both the positive and the negatives, that maybe I've idolized her and made her this incredible figure in my, and the fact that, because I think because she was so important to him, he had to, that's evident, I think, through, Mark could probably see how deep a part of Brian she is and how important.
Yeah, well, if he hasn't seen it up to this point, he will see it a little later in the play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let me just say that he hasn't seen it all yet. So it's only in his imagination. And I think the reality turns out to be worse than his imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. when the, when the two of them are both drunk and you're just sitting there trying to live through it all, that's great.
I'm not sure he said very much to me about Mark, because when has he even talked to me in the past, 100 years?
Oh, I know. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he says in the interview just before that we say, she said, I don't know. She's probably out having a good time somewhere. I have no idea where she
Probably still dancing as far as I know.
Absolutely. Everything is a myth up to this point. Now the reality arrives. The reality arrives. That's sort of what the reality of the myth of your relationship arrives. And you are the reality, Cindy.
But she does know about him because she said, I figured it was you.
Yeah, of
So
course.
somewhere
Yes.
there was a mention.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through you're going, let's see, 22 to 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Surprise! Oh, who are you? I am sorry. I was looking for Brian. Two. They said cottage two. I must have.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No, this is two. This is cottage two.
Oh,
Yes.
thank God. Is
No, not at the moment, but he should be back any minute.
good. I wanted to surprise him, and he's not here. So, surprise! Very nice. Very nice.
Glad you like it.
All the comforts of home. Amazing what you can do with a coffin if you put your mind to it.
What?
Oh, sorry. Introductions first. That way you'll know who you're throwing out. I'm Beverly. No doubt you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brian's wife.
Ex-wife.
Former.
Oh, yes, former. He prefers former, doesn't he?
Yes, I figured it was you.
You did?
Yes, it wasn't hard.
No, I guess not. And you're.
Yes,
Yeah, I figured.
Mark.
Yes. Well. Well, now that we both know who we are, how about a drink?
A what?
A drink.
Oh, no.
No?
No, we don't keep any liquor here. I could get you some coffee or some penicillin.
No. I was inviting you. I had a little accident with the scotch on the way over. There's quite a dent in it. And anyway, I figured we both could use a little.
No, I don't drink.
Oh, a dope man.
Neither. I like to avoid as much poison as possible.
I see.
Anyway, it's really not the time or place, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you go ahead. If you feel you have to.
Oh, no, not really. I mean, I don't need it. I'm not. Forget it. So, how is he?
Dying. How are you?
Let's start that again. Is he feeling any pain?
Are you?
Strike two. All right. I think I've got it all straight now. He's dying. I'm drunk. You're pissed off. Did I leave anything out?
No, I think that's just about covers it.
Tell me. How is he?
Hard to say. One day he's flat on his ass. The next day he's running around like a 2-year-old. But he's terminal, officially. They moved him down to this cottage because there's nothing they can do for him in the hospital. but he can't go home either. There's some pain, but it's tolerable. At least he makes it seem to be tolerable. They keep shooting him full of cortisone.
Ouch.
Yes. Ouch. You should be prepared, I guess.
Prepared for what?
The cortisone.
Well, why? They don't give it to the visitors, do they?
No, I mean, it has side effects. It's, well, you may not notice it, but the skin goes sort of white and puffy. Changes the shape of his face for a while, and he started to get really fat.
His whole body?
Yes, his whole body.
Charming.
Well, don't get too upset. A lot of it's been corrected, but he's still very pale. And he has fainting spells. They're harmless. Well, that's what they tell me, but it's embarrassing for him because he falls down a lot and his face gets a little purple for a minute.
All the details. You're very graphic.
It happens a lot. The details aren't easy to forget.
No, I guess not.
Just wanted to know if you're staying around. I mean, I think it would hurt him if people noticed.
Well, if he turns purple and falls on the floor, it'd be sort of difficult not to notice, wouldn't it?
What?
I mean, what do people usually do when it happens?
I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been anyone except me, and
And you seem to have everything completely under control.
I do my best.
I'm sure you do.
Look, I don't mean to be rude or stupid about this.
No, why? I like when people are rude and stupid. It's one of the ways you can always tell they're still alive. Oh dear, I did it again, didn't I?
Yes. You have to understand. I mean, you'll be careful, won't you?
About what?
That's exactly what I mean. I'm sorry, but you're very stoned, aren't you? And you're dressed in funny clothes and you're saying a lot of funny things, but I'm just not sure, frankly, what the fuck are you doing here?
Neither am I. You sure you wouldn't like a drink?
Positive. Look, please don't you think I'd better, if you come back after some another time, like tomorrow or next year or something?
I just have to get drunk all over again.
I mean, it's sort of a delicate situation right now. He had a very bad time of it, and any kind of a disturbance.
Oh, you mean me? Oh, fine, you'll get used to it. You just have to think of me as your average tramp.
Any disturbance might be dangerous, especially psychologically. And shit, I sound like an idiot the way I'm talking, but you don't seem to be understanding a goddamn word I'm saying.
No, I am. You don't look like a faggot.
Oh, for God's grace.
No, I mean, I didn't expect.
Well, you'll get used to it. You just have to think of me as your average cocksucker. All right?
Now we're getting someplace. Are you sure you wouldn't like a drink?
No, I would not like to have a drink. You have a drink. Have two. Take off your clothes. Make yourself at home. When you're ready to throw up, the bathroom is just right there.
Hey!
Okay. Good. You know, Vasily, that last line that ends this scene so adamantly, I think needs to be a release of something that you've been holding on to the whole scene. You understand what I mean? In other words,
Okay. No.
right?
Yeah, I
So-
understand. Yeah.
So that if you naturally try to hold something back, in other words, try to be as polite as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can, when it reaches a certain point, holding it for that long will make the release of it much more natural for you. And that's all I want you to think about, right?
Yeah,
Because-
well, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Maybe just I misunderstood you last time when we were talking about that we should be careful not to make a drama dramatically.
Yes.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Because,
Yeah.
you know, the very first time when Cindy and I, we did the we read the scene, right? I tried to do the release there.
Yeah,
And I kind of remember that don't make a drama dramatically.
yeah,
Human.
So, and I tried to hold it back a little bit there.
yeah.
So, and that's what I did here at this point, you know? So do you feel like it has to be more?
Well, first of all, it doesn't have to be yelling, but there's
No, not
Yeah.
necessary.
there's just an intensity to it that you have to let. I mean, and there's a held intensity for your character during the whole scene. This is your opportunity to release that intensity. It doesn't have to be loud, but it just has to be unfiltered. It just
Right.
has, right? It just has, you just have to take the filter off that's been on for the whole scene.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, if that makes sense, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. Thank God. What's actual apology? What is that? Actual apology. It must be toward the beginning. Does anybody say actual apology?
No, sorry. Introductions first. That way you'll know who you're throwing out. Is that what the one you mean?
No, yeah,
Or is it, I'm sorry, I was looking for Brian.
thank
So
God.
production first, that the way you have to throw out. Oh, you barely.
Oh, well, thank God is when I find out I'm in the right place.
Right. Oh, well, thank God. You know, I mean, it just needs, just let that go. Just let that
Okay.
go even more, right? Okay.
Okay.
Just play the very first part of it for me. Maybe I'll figure out what that is. Start the scene. I'm going to stay on screen, but just
Okay.
start the screen for a second.
All right. Ah! Surprise! Oh, who are you? I'm sorry. I'm looking for Brian.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's what it was. It's like, oh God, I'm sorry. I was looking for Brian. You know, like, oh my God, I went into the wrong room. Holy shit. Oh my God. So that it's an actual apology that you are in the wrong room.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because what I hear from your voice, Cindy, is that it sounds like you are in the right room and you're apologizing, but it's like, oh no, oh my God, you're in a cancer place and you've burst into the room blowing a thing on somebody else's cancer. You know, I mean,
Okay.
so it's that much of oh man, thank God. I know this guy, no problem. And then that allows you to bring that out. That's how those two things are tied together.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Right. So again, Vasily, the beginning, you just need to be protective and businesslike. So let me give you the idea, right? So you say, she says, well, how is he? You know, well, it's hard to say. You know, you go into this long explanation. It's sort of it's sort of what a doctor would say, the way he's saying it. It just has to have that sort of
Okay.
no emotion in it. It's almost like these are the facts. That it's all business, because later on she says the line, she says, well, you seem to have everything under control, don't you? She says that to you, right? And that's really what she's worried. It's a sense of perfect control of every item that is in front of you. And that's what's keeping you whole, is keeping this business of his death straight. And that's what you're protecting too. So those two things work in tandem with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Cindy, oh, right. Yeah, I need to see a little dirtier there. I need to see a little more. Oh, you're gay. It's like, yeah, you're the gay guy. You know, just a little bit more of that. And when you do, a dope man, and then you look in your purse and you're just looking for the right bag of dope, right?
Yeah, I got confused that was where the line was. I thought it was like a couple of lines away. That's what took me so long.
Right. And then Cindy, also when he's starting to give that long sort of clinical explanation of what he's going through at this time, it's a great opportunity for you to take a couple of drinks.
Huh. Okay.
Right. Because I think that really sort of depicts how she's taking it anyway. Just, okay, good.
Okay.
And that, well, they don't give it to the fucking visitors, do they? You know, I mean, it should have a little bit more of fuck in there. I know there's no fuck, but it's like, well, they don't give it to the visitors, do they? I mean, God. Great. Very graphic. Do you have a line very graphic, Cindy?
Yeah, all the details, you're very graphic. It's after his long explanation about Brian.
Yeah, make very graphic a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make it a joke. Yeah,
A
absolutely.
dirty joke.
Yeah, whatever,
details,
sure, whatever you want, but make it a joke.
Okay.
Point out, that's exactly what I mean. The joke.
And all the details, you're very graphic.
Here's another joke. And well, then I'll just have to get drunk all over again. Right?
Okay.
There's another joke, right? Okay. Point out that who says that's exactly what I mean?
Oh,
That's you. That's about the disruptions, isn't it?
I don't know. It happens before the well, I'll have to get drunk all over again line, and it's after.
Oh, you will be careful, won't you? About
that's
what?
exactly what I mean.
Exactly,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but you're very stoned, aren't you? And you're dressed in funny clothes and you're saying a lot of funny things, but I'm just not sure, frankly, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right, but use that moment. That's exactly what I mean. What you just did there, that's exactly what I mean. Right,
Yeah.
right. You got to use that now, that present moment.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense, Vasily?
Mhm.
Okay, use that
I'm
present
so
moment.
clueless about the whole thing in his head.
Of course. Yep. Okay, guys, good. Good first pass. Let's do another pass. Hold on, I got to get another piece of paper. Okay. All righty, Bill's logging off. Here we go.
Surprise! Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for Brian. They said 2, cottage 2. I must have.
No, you did not.
Oh, I didn't?
No, this is 2. This is cottage 2.
Oh,
Yes.
thank God. Is
No, not at the moment, but he should be back any minute.
good. Yeah, I wanted to surprise him, and he's not here. So, surprise! Very nice. Very nice.
Good, Cindy, that was great. That was a great start for both of you, actually great. And then when you do that, also sometimes when a person's had just a couple, they laugh at their own jokes a little bit. So the second, surprise, nice, so that you can tie that in. So in other words, it works better as the contrast that he's being protective and you're being you. What can I say?
Yeah.
That was a great start. I totally believe that you got in the wrong room. That was a great moment for both of you. Let's go back to the top one more time. Here we go. And I'll try to shut up. Here we go.
Surprise! Oh, who are you? I'm sorry. I'm looking for Brian. The 2. They said cottage 2. I must have.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No, this is 2. This is cottage 2.
Oh,
Yes.
thank God. Is
Can I teach you a little trick here that we've done before, right? When you go, oh, thank God. In other words, that it's got to come right. In other words, if you hold on to that energy on the O, and then he goes, it just comes right out of it. And it'll just totally surprise us. All right.
okay.
Here we go. Right. That's the way to make comedy work, everybody. You've got to hold on to the energy that you have coming into that moment and then let that energy guide the comic line. It'll always work for you. One more time, back from the start. It's so good. Here we go. One more time.
Surprise! Oh, who are you? I'm sorry. I'm looking for Brian. They said 2, cottage 2. I must have.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't.
No, this is cottage too.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, thank God. Is he?
No, not at the moment, but he should be back any minute.
Good. Well, I wanted to surprise him and he's not here, so. Ah! Surprise! Oh, very nice. Very nice. All the comforts of home.
Glad you like it.
Amazing what you can do with a coffin if you put your mind to it.
What?
Oh, introductions first. That way you'll know who you're throwing out. I'm Beverly. No doubt you.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Brian's wife.
Ex-wife.
Former.
Oh, yes, former. He prefers former, doesn't he?
Yes, I figured it was you.
You did.
Yes, it wasn't hard.
Oh, I guess not. And you.
Yes,
Yeah, I figured.
Mark.
Well,
Well,
well, now that we know who we are, how about a drink?
a what?
A drink.
Oh, no, no,
No?
no. We don't keep any liquor here. I could get you some coffee or some penicillin if you'd like.
No. I was inviting you. I had a little accident with scotch on the way out. There's quite a dent in it. But anyway, things being the way we are, I think we could both use some.
No, I don't drink.
A dope man.
Neither. I like to avoid as much poison as possible.
I see.
Anyway, it's really not the time or place, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you go ahead if you feel you have to.
Oh, well, no, not really. I mean, I don't need it. I'm not a. Forget it. So, how is it?
Dying. How are you?
Let's start that again. Is he feeling any pain?
Are you?
Strike two. Okay, I think I've got it all straight now. He's dying, I'm drunk, and you're pissed off. Now, did I leave anything out?
No, I think that just about covers it.
Tell me, how is he?
Hard to say. One day he's flat on his ass. The next day he's running around like a 2-year-old. But he's terminal, officially. They moved him down to this cottage because there's nothing they can do for him in a hospital. But he can't go home either. There's some pain, but it's tolerable. At least he makes it seem tolerable. They keep shooting him full of cortisone.
Ouch.
Yes, ouch. You should be prepared, I guess.
Prepared for what?
The cortisone.
Oh, why? They don't give it to the visitors, do they?
No, I mean, it has a side effect. Well, you may not notice it, but the skin goes sort of white and puffy. It changed the shape of his face for a while, and he started to get really fat.
His whole body?
Yes, his whole body.
Oh, charming.
Well, don't get too upset. A lot of it's being corrected, but he's still very pale, and he has fainting spells. They're harmless. Well, that's what they've told me. But it's embarrassing for him because he falls down a lot and his face gets a little purple for a minute.
All the details. You're very graphic.
It happens a lot. The details aren't easy to forget.
No, I guess not.
I just want you to know, if you're staying around, I mean, I think it would hurt him if people noticed.
Well, if he turns purple and falls on the floor, it'd be sort of difficult not to notice, wouldn't it?
What?
I mean, well, what do people usually do when it happens?
I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been anyone here except me, and
You have everything pretty much under control.
I do my best.
I'm sure you do.
Look, I don't mean to be rude or stupid about this, but
I said, why not? I love when people are being rude and stupid. It's one of the ways you can be sure they're still alive. Oh dear, I did it again, didn't I?
yes, you have to understand. I mean, you will be careful, won't you?
About what?
What? That's exactly what I mean. I'm sorry, but you're very stoned, aren't you? And you're dressing in funny clothes and you're saying a lot of funny things, but I'm just not sure, frankly, what the fuck are you doing here?
Neither am I. You sure you wouldn't like a drink?
Positive. Look, please, don't you think it'd be better if you come back some other time, like tomorrow or next year or something?
Yeah, I just have to get drunk all over again.
I mean, it's sort of a delicate situation right here, right now. He's had a very bad time of it, and any kind of, well, disturbance,
Oh, you mean me? Oh, you'll get used to it. You just have to think of me as your average tramp.
any disturbance might be dangerous, especially psychologically. And shit, I sound like an idiot the way I'm talking, but you don't seem to be understanding goddamn what I'm saying.
No, I am. I am. You know, you don't look like a faggot.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Oh, no, I didn't mean, I didn't expect that.
Well, you'll get used to it. You just have to think of me as your average cocksucker, all right?
Now we're getting someplace. Are you sure that you wouldn't like a drink?
No, I would not like to have a drink. You have a drink. Have two. Take off your clothes. Make yourself at home. When you're ready to throw up, the bathroom is just right there.
Hey!
Well, okay, wait a minute. That was fun. Yeah, it's good. Good, coming along nice. Vasily, that very first what you have, you know, you start the scene out sort of looking at pill bottles, right? You were looking at double checking them. You should have a distraction before that first what, and that distraction would be going back to the pills.
Right. Well, you know what it says in the direction. It says that he would have found it difficult enough dealing with the postman, let alone this. So it seems like he got distracted with all the pills he just brought in.
Right, exactly. That's why that if you're sort of there looking at the pills, and she said, "What?" You know, it just make more sense for you.
Right.
Let's see. No. Cindy. Oh wait, Vasily. Former.
Ex-wife, former.
What does that say that again?
Ex-wife, former. Yes, former. He prefers former, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. Play with her there a little, because then it won't be all negative. You know, I'm his ex-wife, former. In other words, right? So that we all know that we've talked about each other, and I think you can play with her there. My God, at least it gives you somewhere to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Also, the no on the drinking has got to be a little no. It's like there's no drinking in here. You know, it's like it's got to be that. Yeah, that's part of your protection. That's how you protect him, is you keep the alcohol away. And it's easy because you don't drink. So Cindy, so how is he? Right? It says I've had my drink and there we go. And it's just, okay.
Okay.
It's fun, you know what I mean? It'll be a great way. It's a whole new beat, you know? How is he?
Well, I had in the script that she took a drink and said there's a pause. Beverly smiles, Mark does not.
Yeah, well, don't. That's
yeah.
bullshit. Right. Take the drink and it's
okay.
All right. There we go. I feel good. I had my drink. So, Vasily, here's the biggest note that I got for you, right? I liked what you did at the end really well. I thought it worked really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't feel, I felt the politeness, but I didn't feel the pain, the politeness covering a pain. In other words, you've got to give yourself that protective pain, that importance of that pain, and then protect it. You've got to give yourself something underneath it, so that it's not just calmness, it's calmness through to survive what you're trying to do, not just calmness itself.
Mhm.
Okay, does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah.
Because this is your aces. This is what you do best. I need to see and I need to feel that deep emotion that you have, and then I need to see you cover that up with the business-like, very pragmatic attitude that you have.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Cindy, no, I guess not. What is that? No, I guess not. Toward the end.
Toward the end,
Yeah. No, I guess
but
not.
she says things very similar to that. No, I guess not. I figured it was you. It wasn't hard. No, I guess not. That's one of them.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's too early. It'd be later. It's toward the
It
end.
happens a lot. The details aren't easy to forget. I guess not.
Yeah,
That's when he falls down.
play that line for me. Give me a couple lines before that, both of you.
What page? I'm lost.
25.
Okay. Where is it? On the top, the middle?
I guess you could start on the side effects thing about halfway down.
Okay.
If you want to go that far back, or we could just go from.
Yeah,
We can
just
go,
pick a spot and go.
let's go from the ouch.
Okay, here we go.
Ouch. Okay. All right. Ouch.
Yes, ouch. You should be prepared, I guess.
Prepared for what?
The courtesan.
I mean, they don't give it to the visitors, do they?
No, I mean, it has side effects. It, well, you may not notice it, but the skin goes sort of white and puffy. He changed the shape of his face for a while and started to get really fat.
His whole body?
Yes, his whole body.
Charming.
Well, don't get too upset. A lot of it's being corrected, but he's still very pale and he has fainting spells. They're harmless. Well, that's what they tell me. But it's embarrassing for him because he falls down a lot and his face gets a little purple for a minute.
All the details. You're very graphic.
It happens a lot. The details aren't easy to forget.
Oh, I guess not.
I just want you to know if you're staying around. I mean,
Yeah,
I
good.
think
That's the no, I guess not.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. That's the no, I guess not I wanted, right? Cindy, it's there. Try it one more time. Set yourself up for that line one more time. Give him a starting point.
Do you want to do your line above it?
Bill, you were breaking for some reason.
Yeah.
I couldn't catch what you said.
Yeah, you were breaking up.
No, I guess not. It's you've got to hold the energy from the line before, and then he says something, and then no, I guess not comes right from the hold.
Okay.
It's another one of those same cues, right, Cindy?
Yeah.
Sometimes this is something that we really want to work on for Beverly, is that Beverly is like, is he here? Okay. So, in other words, you got to hang in there all the time. Sometimes you have a tendency to really nail a line and then pull back from it. What I want you to do is to nail that line, hang on to it, and see where it takes you. And this is a classic example of that.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. There were two classic examples of that tonight. All right. Vasily, clarity on next year or sometime or something. Will you leave this tomorrow, today, next year, whatever that, the clarity. It's
Wouldn't it be easy if you came back next week or next year? Or, yeah.
Yeah. Clarity. It's just clarity. Okay. Because you're really trying to be clear there too. You're trying to really nail her and tell her, just stay the fuck away. Can you just go tomorrow or next week or next year? Can you do that? Not tomorrow, next week, or next year, if they're all bundled in.
I see. Got it. Mhm.
Right. And Cindy, when he does the cocksucker line, you got to laugh at that because it'll take you right to your next line. That's funny to you. Yeah, you just have to go regular cocks. Oh God, now we're there. Now we're there. Yeah, I would enjoy that. All right.
Okay.
Okay, come on back, everybody. Well, I hope we had a good, any questions based on what we started on tonight? I thought we got off to a really good start in many regards. If any of you have any questions before we close it off, and I'll send you the schedule tomorrow, I promise.
I have a very basic question. It's very
Uh-huh.
specific to our scene. But
Uh-huh.
at one point, she said it's something like move me. I don't know the line, but it's move me to the other side. And I say, is that better?
Right.
I'm not sure,
How to do that.
moving her or should
Yeah.
I just
On the
not
side
bother?
of the table.
Yeah. One question I want to ask is, Cam, do you think it will be possible for you to get a wheelchair by the time we do this?
I
No.
can ask downstairs if they've got one in the lobby, but otherwise, I mean, I don't see how I would get a wheelchair. Norman says they wouldn't have one in the lobby. I don't see how I could get a wheelchair.
Okay, well, okay. Well, anyway, I don't want you to go buy a wheelchair. All I'm saying is maybe you'll see somebody, I don't know. You got 10 weeks, so, 12 weeks. So
I can
but
ask.
just put it in the back of your head. It would be, yeah. And it doesn't, you don't have to have the answer today. I'm just saying, put it out there and it'll come to you. Because you'll look so much better in a wheelchair, and it's going to say so much more as we go along. But it's not a deal breaker in any way, shape, or form. Don't stress over it.
Oh, you mean
just
you
keep
won't
your
pay
ears
for
open.
me if I don't have a wheelchair?
There's no fucking way. Give me a break.
I'll ask at
Any
work,
other questions?
I'll ask at work if there's any wheelchairs around. I don't think there are, but I'll ask them when I go in.
Yeah, and we don't need it till April, so I'm just
Right.
saying. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there. This is what people have taught me to do. That when you need something, you put it out there. You say you
Yep.
need it, and the universe hears you, and it sends it to you somehow. And we got 12 weeks for the universe to send us this fucking wheelchair. All right, that's all I'm saying. Okay.
What is the
Fucking
tentative
universe
date?
better come through.
Yeah. What, Mel?
What is the tentative date of our performance?
I think you nailed it. It's the 16th and the 17th of April.
Good. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because you said you had a short conversation with Leslie about it, and
Yeah.
so we've already started the ball rolling. But we're
Yeah.
going to shoot for the 16th and the 17th of April.
Great.
And
you.
gosh, we're going to make it too. If you work as hard as you now, this is what has to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And John, if you could relate this to Nico as well, that the next time we run these scenes, you need to be off book on them. Okay. Next week, we're going to do another just single section. And then I'm going to start tying them together loosely. So I would start learning what you've done tonight, because not next week, but the week after, chances are you will have to do this off book. And I want to keep you up to snuff. All right. Okay.
Did I give you Nico's, I mean, I know he put it in the chat, but did I give you his email to?
Oh, I got his email. I'll send him an email. So yeah, I got Nico's. It's NicoJJohnston@gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
I'll
send it to
gave
him.
it to you earlier to include with all the emails with him.
I will send it to him. Yeah, I'll include it with all the
All right.
emails.
Okay.
All right. And all I'm trying to do is I want you guys to really find the emotional levels in this scene. And you did really good work tonight. All of you did. And I just want to see that work start to happen off book as soon as possible, so that when we do get to April 16th, that there's some aggressive work that's been done, and you're ready to do that. Okay.
Oh, another question. The teacup.
Yeah.
I assume I should get a teacup.
And that would be terrific. And how you drink it and all that other stuff is great. And Cam, I love the idea, just tonight you were in your hair a couple of times, and I love that idea. Just mess yourself up bad. Okay.
I'll just get Oh, the hair will be shorter. The hair has to be shorter.
Whatever. I don't care what
I mean,
length it
it's
is. I'm just saying, yeah. I'm just saying that it looks good when you fucked with your hair, that's all. Anything else before we sign off? All right, I'll see you all next week. I'll try to get your schedule out tomorrow. Don't bug me. If I don't get it, it'll be there by Wednesday, I promise.